Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jacks, and I have more brand new local coverage to tell you about. Every Monday and Thursday after Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 from 3 to 6, we're giving you more of what you want. More Action Sports Jacks. From 6 to 6:30, myself, Casey Kurtz, and Brian Middleton will bring you Action Sports Jacks Overtime. There's a lot of topics in sports, and sometimes we can't hit them all from 3 to 6. We'll hit them all on OT. So join us 6 to 6:30 every Monday and Thursday night right here on ESPN 690.
This moment of uncontrollable laughter was made possible by a 32-year-old man with little to no coordination attempting to execute a simple cartwheel. His name is Sergeant Warner, but young James, our laughing friend here, simply calls him Dad. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
What's up? It's Casey. Check out the podcast Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, wherever you get your podcasts.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. There are a number of new positive COVID-19 tests around the NFL today, including all 3 coordinators from the Bears coaching staff. 3 more Washington players were added to COVID-19 lists today, bringing the team's total to 21. Week 15 kicks off tonight with the Chiefs and Chargers in Inglewood. Jaguars coach Urban Meyer is now out of a job less than a year after he was hired by team owner Shad Khan. ESPN's Mike DiRocco says this was a necessary move by the owner.
He sort of felt betrayed a little bit by Urban Meyer in that, I bring you here, I hire you, I expect you to turn my franchise around, and you basically do all these things that make me and the organization look bad.
Mike DiRocco on Greeny. The Bulls are hoping to have time to prepare for their game against the Lakers Sunday night. The team hasn't gathered since Monday. They've had 2 games postponed after a COVID-19 outbreak affecting 10 players. And some clubs in the English Premier League are asking for the league to shut down until mid-January.
We're back on Friday, reacting to Thursday Night Football as Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs try to run their winning streak to 7 games while Justin Herbert looks to pounce all over the Kansas City Chiefs. That's Friday morning on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Well, it was about 24 hours ago, really 22 hours ago, where we said he's done. Urban Meyer, the last shoe had dropped when the news of Josh Lambo's allegation came out in the Tampa Bay Times. We were right. About 7 hours later, Urban Meyer fired by the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it's been the big story all day here on a Thursday in Jacksonville, Florida, and all around the country. It's like the story around the country. Tune into the national shows at 3 in the morning, at 6 in the morning, at noontime, and right now, and you're still getting Urban Meyer conversation all around the United States of America, and especially right here in Florida. It's a massive story. It's a massive disappointment. It's a massive failure on the part of the Jags, but really on the head coach Urban Meyer, too. It'll go down as his biggest failure in his professional football career. The fact that he could only last 13 games, maybe above everything, even the record of 2-11, and left the Jaguars potentially in worse shape, at least when in his last day, than when he took over. And now you could make the case they're maybe in okay shape going forward, but we'll find out who replaces Urban Meyer. And now we say, oh, this is the biggest hire in franchise history coming up next. But I'm pretty sure we said that last January as well. Brent Martineau here at String Sports Brewery. Going to be a busy night here. I'll be bumping in and out of the radio show to do some TV on CBS 47 and Fox 30. We've been on all day, of course, on radio and TV and on social media. And tonight, Jaguars All Access coming up at 7 o'clock. And Jack Griffin will join us. And by the way, a little cameo appearance by Ric Flair as well here at String. So come on out and meet Ric Flair. He signed some autographs, I think, as well. So if you're a wrestling fan, iconic Ric Flair will be here later tonight for Jaguars All Access. Brent Martineau here, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz in the Action Sports Jack Studios. What a day, fellas. What a day.
Yeah, what a day indeed. I think the thought was the fact that we wouldn't be having this conversation until after the season, 1 or 2 days after the season. But, the Josh Lambo news breaks last night a little bit. You hear more of it later on in the night. And then quickly after that, Urban Meyer's let go. And here we are now. And, with that, it's all about who do you bring in next. Now, in terms of, the most important hire of all time, well, yeah, you're going to say that. But I always felt like that Urban Meyer hire was the most important because, the circumstance of what you found yourself in with Trevor Lawrence, having so much draft capital, having so much money, and really, turning over the leaf that was Doug Marrone. At that time, that felt like the most important hire. And it goes how it goes. We're here now. And now I think, this is obviously an important hire as well, but I can't help but wonder, yes, it's an important hire, but does this have to be the safe hire? Can you afford to take another gamble? Can you afford to take another risk? And by risk, I mean, can you bring in a guy that's never been a head coach before in the NFL? I think that is a little risky.
Yeah, and can you afford to have Shad Khan be the only guy, essentially, that makes the decision, or do you go to the search firm? Do you include Mark Lamping? Do you include other people? How will they get it done? Listen, one thing about the Jags, one thing about Shad Khan, they've tried it in a bunch of different ways now, from new coach to veteran coach to new GM to veteran GM to Tom Coughlin, the czar, to Urban Meyer, the college guy. They've tried it. I think that puts them in a little bit of a pickle. It kind of puts me in a little bit of a pickle on who they should go with next. But there are plenty of options out there, and they probably could have the pick of the litter once again, depending on some of the jobs that open up. But clearly, right now, the Raiders' job is more of a, I don't know about more of a mess, but I think this one might be more intriguing, other than it's Vegas. It's the Raiders. But you do have a quarterback already in place. You could have a quarterback might be in flux in Las Vegas. And then the money situation and everything else. You can debate it. I think Houston could eventually end up being open, but I think this job's better than the Houston job. We'll get into some of that. But before we go forward and where do we go from here, and that's a big topic today, and it should be, and it has been all day long, we got to go back a little bit, and just like there's a lot of layers to this thing, right? What got Urban Meyer fired? I think that's a fascinating question if we just simplify it. I have my thoughts. I've been dishing on that all day, and really ever since last night at midnight. Austin, what do you think? What got him fired last night, a little after midnight?
What got him fired was the bad optics. It was the compilation of everything. It was the record. It was the James Robinson stuff. It was the press conference. It was the Marvin Jones incident. It was supposedly kicking Josh Lambo. It was a culmination of all of that. And I think if you had a better record, does that get brushed aside? I'm not sure. I'll be honest, I haven't seen any players speak out on behalf of Urban Meyer saying, we're going to miss him and stuff like that. I mean, if you believe some of the reports going around right now, a bunch of players that were talking to their agents kind of had the deuce emoji in terms of when their agents announced that Urban Meyer got let go. So it almost seems like a lot of players in that locker room were almost relieved, if you will. So that to me is the ultimate telling story, because I talked about it a little bit yesterday where, locker rooms do a great job of governing themselves. If you want a guy to stay, then you go, you're going to try your best to make that guy stay. If you want a guy gone, well, then you can stay silent. And I haven't seen a lot of players come out in the defense of Urban Meyer. So if that's the case, then that leads you to believe that it was a mess in that locker room. The culture was not put in place to win. Players are fed up with the way things are. And I think it's just very telling when you hear the response today from, literally nobody in terms of Urban Meyer getting fired, at least in a positive light.
Yeah, and I think you said a powerful thing, and I think we discussed this a little bit over the last couple of days, but I think you said something powerful yesterday on the show when the news broke. It was in the 5 o'clock hour on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, and some of our first reactions, and you simply said, if we do not hear players come out and support Urban Meyer tomorrow, assuming he was still had a job, you said, what are we doing here? And I think that does speak volumes. I think it speaks volumes that there wasn't really a player that said, oh, man, we got his back. I mean, we've seen that a lot. We saw that with Gus Bradley. We saw that, I probably would think, with Mike Mularkey when you guys were there. We saw that with Doug Marrone. People go and say, hey, we got this guy's back. You know, it might not be to everybody, but even from a politically correct standpoint, you almost get that. Now, one thing about this is we're not talking to everybody in the locker room, so fair enough. But over these last couple of weeks especially, did not have that. And so I think you're right. I don't think Urban Meyer potentially kicking Josh Lambo in warm-ups in August got him fired. I think on top of Marvin Jones, on top of losers assistant coaches, on top of benching and the whole mess of James Robinson, on top of Chris Doyle, on top of everything else, I think Shad Khan, and I think we've been all over this, by the way, been very consistent with this, he doesn't want to be embarrassed. And I think he knew that he was going to wake up on Thursday morning at the owners' meetings in Dallas, and every TV he turned on, people were going to be talking about Urban Meyer. They already were doing it late last night. I don't know if he was at dinner or whatever, and maybe he didn't see the TVs, but his fellow owners were going to be talking about it. And he said, you know what, this is it, because what happens when I wake up on Friday morning? And then next week, and then the next week. And so I think that was it. I think you're right. I think it was just the symbolic nature of, I'm done. I'm done getting embarrassed. And we're not going to stick this through, and it's not going to work. And by the way, I think I told you coming off Monday night's conversation, I kind of had a feeling that this wasn't going to work out, but I thought it would be in January when he evaluated everything, because once he did a deep dive on stuff, I think he would have found out that there were a lot of unhappy people in the building. But he was definitely going to wait till the end of the year. Well, this was a tipping point, a boiling point for Shad Khan, the latest news. And who knows what else may have come out. I do think there will be less that comes out. I think we differ. I think we had this conversation this morning with Rich Jones on WOKV 104.5 and on ESPN 690. We did a special show in the 9 o'clock hour. And, Austin, I don't think we're going to get a lot more out of people. I don't know if things will leak. I think it could be a thing here or there. But I'm not sure people will pile on now. I think the job's been done, if you will, right? I mean, he's done. What's the point? But we could get a story that trickles out. But I just don't think it will be this deluge of stories day after day about what went on in that locker room. I could be wrong. I just don't feel that will happen.
No, but I think players are going to come out eventually and talk on podcasts and stuff. I mean, that happened with Jalen Ramsey. You know, Jalen Ramsey, when he was long and gone, goes to L.A. and, literally got everything that he wanted. That didn't stop him from, going to a few podcasts and talking bad about Tom Coughlin or kind of sharing the details, kind of the behind-the-scenes stuff of what transpired to Jalen Ramsey's release. Now, I think with Urban Meyer, I mean, depending on how bad it was, I think if it was worse enough, then yeah, there's definitely going to be some stuff that gets out. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. It may not even be during the season. But I think eventually, if the certain player goes on the certain podcast and the certain questions asked, you better believe you're going to hear more about Urban Meyer and exactly what transpired behind closed doors.
And I think it does speak volumes about the relationship he had with the players, and it wasn't one. And really what it boils down to me, I think about this a lot right now, and I don't think you root for people to fail at all. I certainly wasn't rooting for Urban Meyer to fail. In fact, I'd probably root for me to be right way back in the spring when they hired him and say, hey, this might work instead. But I don't think you root for people to fail, but I think at the end of the day, the more I think about it, his lack of relationships in a business that really is about relationships, in a sport that you still remember you played and relationships you value, I don't think he had many, man. I don't think he has many allies. Like, I don't know who is sticking up for him. You said players, but management, anyone else outside the football world, very few. I mean, outside of Brady Quinn, I can't remember too many people that have stood up for Urban Meyer, which is a little bit sad in one respect, but also shows you kind of the toxic nature about Urban Meyer at times in his career.
No, I mean, I think Urban Meyer has guys in his corner. I think he has supporters. You don't get to the NFL without being part of at least some kind of network. So they're out there. But I think right now with where the landscape is, and the landscape is essentially scorched with everything that's transpired the past 2 weeks, the last thing these guys want to do right now is come out in support of Urban Meyer, because depending what position they have, I mean, it's career suicide. You know, I think people want to separate themselves from Urban Meyer as much as possible right now because one could say in terms of, the first head coaching gig of his NFL career, it might have been the worst of all time in Urban Meyer, of how things were handled, of how things went down. So there's not a lot of people right now that I expect to come out in support of Urban Meyer just because you can't be associated with that if you're in the realm of football.
Probably his coaching staff at Bowling Green, though, right?
Oh, yeah. They got some major props.
Those guys are probably going to come out and support.
They got some major props.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a leak. What was the quote? You remember the quote?
Something along the lines of, you guys are worse than my coaching staff at Bowling Green, but there's some other words in there that started with F and ended with other letters.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, how much do you think, Austin, if you really take the Lambeau part of this, is coaching style and maybe over the edge of coaching style, and especially in today's NFL, today's world of sport, maybe not even just the NFL? Because I got to believe there's a lot of coaches out there that have used derogatory words and said stuff to people and blah, 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 blah. Now, the kick is extreme. I'm kind of distancing the two. But I think also, Lambeau took offense to the style, it appears. Is that uncommon? Do you think he was a little bit of a unicorn in that style, that approach in the NFL especially?
Casey, if somebody walks in here right now that's one of our colleagues, or let's say it's one of the bosses.
Okay.
Let's say it's either Brent or, I don't know, some like our program director.
All right.
Let's say he comes in and kicks you and says, do a better job.
Yeah.
You cool with that, or are you going to have an issue with that?
No, listen, I'm probably going to punch him square in the face.
There you go.
Frankly, I mean,
and by the way,
I can figure something else out.
I'm going to take a punch from you, man, because you got some weight behind that punch now,
Appreciate
man.
That.
You're a big dude. So that's my point. Whether it's the NFL, whether it's everyday life at your 9-to-5 job, if somebody puts their hands on you or kicks you or whatever the case may be, that's going to rub anybody the wrong way, regardless of the atmosphere that you find yourself in. Like I know we always say football, toxic masculinity, it's a macho type of atmosphere, which it is. But if you're a coach, if you're supposed to be a leader, a general of your team, a culture setter, if you will, and you put your hands on somebody, that's crossing the line. That's crossing the line every single time. Now, was it misconstrued? Was he joking around with Josh Lambeau? I don't know, man. I think it's pretty obvious to tell if you kick somebody whether you're joking around or not. Obviously, Josh Lambeau didn't think Urban Meyer was joking. So go ahead and cuss somebody out if you want. Go ahead and, humiliate somebody and in front of their peers via, all the language in the dictionary if you want. But once you put your hands on another man, because keep in mind, these aren't college kids here. These aren't high school kids. These are grown men with families. And as soon as you do that, you're asking for problems.
Yeah, but I guess I'm kind of trying to separate the kick in that part of the physical confrontation, because there's more about just the language, right, and the demeaning nature. And we kind of think that's not the only case. So really you can separate it from Lambeau and say if he's coaching that way, right, with using those words and talking down, and I think what Lambeau would kind of refer to as bullying, is that more commonplace in the NFL? Because that's not commonplace in the workplace, right? I mean, physically touching people shouldn't be a commonplace in any workplace. But I'm just asking you, is it just a style of coaching? Like, does Bill Belichick get after people in that same way with a lot of colorful words? Just refrains from kicking.
Well, no, I mean, I think if you go to any training camp, you go to any defensive line coach or any position coach, at least one of them is going to have colorful language. At least one of them, is going to probably be like, all right, let's put the earmuffs on the kids. Like, that's part of football. The cussing and the swearing. Some guys, some coaches have been ingrained in that. It's what they were brought in. It's what they've been initiated with. That's fine. Like that I'm not to say that there's a place for that in the game, because I think it's kind of leaning away towards that. But there's still like an old school regime that believes in that, and that's how they operate, and that's fine. They still have jobs in the NFL because I guess it works for whatever reason. But I'm saying as soon as you cross the barrier of putting your hands on another player in that type of manner, no. Urban Meyer is the only guy that I know that has done that. I mean, you hear horror stories of college coaches doing this, and I may have seen that firsthand in college, but nothing to the point of a professional NFL coach in charge of grown-ass men. There's no way.
Well, you've played in that league, and separate from that style, why didn't it work for Urban Meyer, do you think? what was – I mean, this is a guy that won 3 national championships. He had the 3rd winningest percentage in college football history as a coach. And Austin, he went on TV for a few years and talked about football. He said he studied the NFL in that time period as well. He comes to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it appears like he's freaking Ted Lasso coaching soccer. Like he has no idea what he's doing.
I am not familiar with that reference, but okay.
Yeah, the kids will understand it. Most everybody will, in fact, other than you. But the bottom line is, like, it looked foreign to him. Like, he acted like it was foreign. Like, I don't know, I just have my guys do that. Or I don't know who's playing. Or the Phoenix Cardinals. There wasn't it wasn't one slip-up, though. This was like every week. And, I mean, did he just forget how to coach football?
No.
Or is the college game that different? And have we really just determined that it is that different than the NFL?
To me, it wasn't even about the X's and O's, the game planning, the scheming when it comes to Urban Meyer. To me, and really the biggest surprise of all, of where I think Urban Meyer went wrong, was the psychology of the sport. And this is a guy who has a psychology degree. This was a guy who was used to shaping young men fresh out of high school. You went to go recruit them. You sat in those families' kitchens and you put on your spiel about why they should come to so-and-so university. And then when you had them, it took 4 or 5 years to make them into men. And that was the mentality. I think he tried to bring that mentality to Jacksonville. Now, in between that time, there was his stint with Fox News. And maybe he got out of touch a little bit. Like, you covered it, you still were around it, but you weren't ingrained in it anymore in a locker room. And maybe in that time, locker rooms changed a little bit. Maybe in that time, football, players and their mindsets maybe changed a little bit. And maybe you didn't adapt with it. Maybe you just covered it, but you didn't learn to adapt with it. And by the time you got to the NFL, it wasn't college kids anymore. It was a bunch of grown men who are 100% different than what college kids are. And I think that's where Urban Meyer went wrong, is he didn't know how to relate. He didn't know how to build relationships. And he didn't know how to get the best out of these grown men, because it is different, right? And I think, in terms of what makes a great coach, what makes a bad coach, I say this all the time. I played for a million coaches. I played for the most laid-back coaches in Andy Reid, and I played for the most in-your-face, hold-you-accountable coaches like Joe Cohen. I respect them both equally. But why I respect them is because they stayed true to who they were, right? If you put on a facade, if you try to be something that you're not, players, especially grown men, are going to see through that. And they're going to call you out on that. And that's when you lose a locker room. I think the past, whatever it's been here with Urban Meyer's time in Jacksonville, the past, months here in Jacksonville, it was a combination of not relating to the football players. It was a combination of not feeling comfortable in your own skin. And it was a combination of trying to put on a facade of somebody that you weren't. And that combination got him in trouble in the locker room, and that combination eventually got him fired.
Yeah, it's a good call. I got a lot more questions for you. I feel like we've almost already moved on from Urban, because we thought this might happen, and I think so many people are pleased that it happened. I had a poll out there this morning. It's a little emotional right now, I get it, but it was like, did the Jags make the right move? Did Shad Khan make the right move, yes or no? I mean, just simply yes or no. Is this the right time, or should he give him more time? Because there are some people, believe it or not, they're like, what do you mean? Give him a little bit more time. And it's like a 93 to 7% vote. And we've got like 1,200 votes on it. I mean, 93%, So it's like slam dunk. Yeah, made the right move. Like, this is a no-brainer. Get him out of here. See you later. Throw a parade in Jacksonville. We're glad it's over. I mean, that is the feeling. I mean, that's a wild feeling. Usually it takes 4 years of losing, maybe Gus Bradley or something like that, to say, okay, we're done. Well, Gus is a nice guy, but we're done. Let's move on. We can all agree it's time to move on. This is like 11 months.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Think about
I'm
that.
surprised it wasn't 100%, honestly.
Well,
I'm
it
sure
probably is. 93% is about 100%.
I'm sure he had some family members in that poll as well that follow you. I mean, you went to his hometown for crying out loud. You're in. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, it was still a good story, Brent. Don't worry.
Listen, it was a good story.
That was a great story.
Listen, by the way, and I met those guys. Those guys are awesome. And that was the best part of the Urban Meyer era.
Hey, Brent.
Meeting his high school buddies.
Hey, Brent, are you gonna stop going to hometowns though? And
No, I'm going to the next guy, too.
and jinxing this team? Because that's starting to become a trend now. You realize?
This is not my fault.
Starting to become a trend. I'm just saying. I mean, I saw.
Not my fault.
Hey, I saw 4 interceptions from Trevor Lawrence last game. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, that's right. Brent went to his town. Of course, that's right. 4 interceptions. I'm just saying. But
it's
no,
not my fault.
In
Good Will
terms.
Hunting?
Yeah, for sure. In terms of the poll results here, I'm not surprised at all. Because whether it's the Jaguars, the Lions, the Browns of yesteryear, losing's one thing, and losing sucks. And losing year in and year out, it sucks. But at least, like, when you lose, like, you kind of find camaraderie in losing, right? Like, you can still crack jokes, and you can still, go on message boards or on social media and still crack your jokes and everything. And, like, it's not the end of the world. Now, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. But when you lose, and you lose in a way that you're getting embarrassed, not only, like, on the field, but obviously off the field, with all the bad optics, well, then that's another echelon of feeling horrible. That's another echelon of suck, if you will. And that's what this team has endured. And it seems like this team's endured that the past 4 or 5 years. Because in terms of bad optics, no one's done it better than the Jacksonville Jaguars. And as a fan, that gets hard to root for. That gets hard to find pride in. That gets hard to, gather the family together on a Sunday morning and say, all right, kids, let's go. We're going to watch another game. Oh, Dad, do we have to? Like that. Those conversations get had because now you're not only losing, but it's embarrassing of how it's come across. So that's why I'm not really surprised in terms of the poll of, what people are saying in terms of celebrating Urban Meyer being gone, just because the optics were at an all-time low. And that is saying so much from this team the past 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. String Sports Brewery, the place we're at today here on a Thursday, and it's a big day in Jacksonville. The Jaguars fire Urban Meyer, and they move on now. But we have more questions. Will Urban Meyer ever coach again? What's next? Is he untouchable? Shad Khan, how did he do handling this situation after thinking that he got it right this time? And what does it mean for the next time? Who will be the next head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars? What does it mean for the locker room? They play a game on Sunday. They woke up this morning, and I guarantee you most of them slept through this because they were already in bed, woke up and their coach was fired. What does it mean to those guys in the building? We talk more about it coming up. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 here on a monumental Thursday in Jacksonville, Florida.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Tonight, we will have a few early showers, but otherwise looking dry through the overnight hours with areas of fog. We will have partly cloudy skies into tomorrow morning with temperatures in the upper 50s. Friday, partly sunny and warm with temperatures in the afternoon in the low 80s. I'm meteorologist Sola Sepedjic, and that's your Action News Jax First Alert Forecast.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where the anniversary sale's been extended through Christmas Eve. Save up to 41% store-wide. Smoke for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue. And it is at Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Open 7 days a week. Try the smoked wings, southern sides, and big old platters. Trivia night and kids eat free specials during the week. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Order online and skip the line. Visit williejewels.com to see other locations in Florida and Georgia. Yulee to St. Augustine, Brunswick, and Kingsland. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoke for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent
Connecticut dealer.
Hey, Bruiser, you ready to do the old holiday shopping routine?
Yeah, I got all the houses picked out.
Alrighty.
Hey, you know I almost feel sorry for these folks.
Oh, don't go soft on me now. That's why they pay insurance.
Okay, so you promise those kids will just lose their bikes for a little while?
Yeah, I promise. Whatever.
All right, then let's sing our favorite holiday song.
Yeah, we're making our list, checking it twice.
Looking for houses with things that are nice. Bruiser and Browser are coming to town. We're filling our truck, we won't leave much.
Avoiding those houses at God's safe touch.
Bruiser and Browser are coming to town.
Crime does increase during the holidays. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, owner of Safe Touch Security Systems. Our new Safe Touch two-way communicator saves lives and prevents property loss every day. Our average response time is an incredible 14 seconds. Nobody can match our servers or our price. You have my guarantee on it.
Call SafeTouch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com.
You've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. You have to carefully monitor your health for the rest of your life. And you have an increased risk of developing cardiovascular disease.
Cut, take 2, action.
You've been diagnosed with a new purpose, to fight for the amazing life you made for yourself. To look that risk of heart disease square in the face and say, no, not me. You've been given a new opportunity to live. Get started at NoDiabetesByHeart.org.
This holiday season, the law firm of Anajar and Levine wants you to remember the reason for this season. Celebrate the love for your family, friends, and neighbors today, and truly enjoy the day and each other. Happy holidays and Happy New Year from the law firm of Anajar and Levine.
For survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties, Hubbard House provides free, confidential emergency shelter and services. Call our 24-hour hotline at 904-354-3114.
In college football, Goodyear knows a new season means new possibilities, where every Saturday is an opportunity on the road to greatness. No matter if you're out there playing your hardest or cheering the loudest from the sidelines, tailgating in the parking lot, or your favorite spot to watch the game, Goodyear knows passion is what drives us forward all the way to the playoffs. That's the road that moves us. Goodyear, more driven.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
Not a chance. And anyone who wants to write a speculative piece today about where could Urban end up, the answer is nowhere. Max. This man is dead professionally, and he did it to himself. And you can talk about the most spectacular flame out in NFL or coaching history, but it was easily predictable. I remember sitting with you guys in January when Shad Khan hired him. I don't know how Shad Khan became a billionaire not being able to listen to common sense.
Listen, Austin, if Paul Feinbaum's going to be your buddy, can you at least go tell him Shad instead of Shad?
Hey, first of all, that's Paul Feinbaum's Southern drawl. So how dare you make fun of the way somebody talks? That's a little messed up, isn't it? So early on in our show? So a little respect, please, for Mr. Paul Feinbaum. Paul, I'll see you later tonight, buddy. I'll be on.
In a weird way, I think I might agree with what he just said there in terms of this is it. He's done. Brent Martineau here at String Sports Brewery. We got Jaguars All Access coming up in a little bit. By the way, Darrell Bevel getting ready to talk as he's the interim head coach now the rest of the season for the Jags. Some players will talk as well, so we'll share some of that as soon as we get it. We'll also be on TV here from Strings coming up at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock team coverage with our Action Sports Jacks team. So get you covered just about everywhere, social media, on the radio on ESPN 690, and on the TV side, CBS 47, Fox 30, leads up to Jaguars All Access tonight. Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz back in the Action Sports Jack studios. It's been a major day, obviously, with the firing of Urban Meyer. I've got so many things that I want to get to, but I guess this is a decent one. It's a decent time to do it. I think I was going to save it till later, but will he pitch again? Will he be on TV again? Is he untouchable? And I think what we want to say right now, he's untouchable, and I kind of feel that way. I really do. And deep down, I'm like, I don't think anybody's going to give this guy a chance. But then I'm like, you know what? He's 57 or whatever. I mean, in 8 years, if he's 65, or in 3 years, and he's 60, you know what? You know what sells? Controversy. And so, if Fox Sports hires him again, would I be stunned? No, because it will be like polarizing. And the guy can talk football. He's pretty good on TV when he was doing it. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did that. I don't think he's going to coach again. I don't think he's ever going to get a chance in the NFL. And I don't think he wants to do it in college. I mean, that was part of this whole process. He didn't want to go back to college. So even if some AD wants to do the Rick Pitino thing and take a chance at him because he's got to scratch the itch, I just don't think that itch is going to be strong enough. And I don't think he's going to go. So I think this is it for Urban in the sport of football. I think it's done. I think it ends in a bad way. And, again, I think this is his biggest failure in his football life is right here in Jacksonville as he tried the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I don't and this is where I disagree with you. I don't think that the demand of Urban Meyer in terms of, like, broadcasting shows is going to be that high. I mean, like, I have a hard time seeing, like, hey, Fox saying, hey, come back on, Urban, because, you went through all that drama. We'd love to have you break down stuff on our show now because of it. I mean, maybe that's how they operate, but, like, we aren't talking about – like the Bachelor after show where he's hosting that. We're talking about literally, a college football show. That's where
intriguing.
It's not bad. Hey, Urban Meyer for Dancing with the Stars?
I don't know about that.
Redemption?
Nah.
The Urban Meyer Redemption tour?
Listen, actually,
Dancing with the Stars?
Now that I think about it, you can't put him on The Bachelor because 30 ladies younger in age.
Careful now, Casey. Careful now, Casey.
Hey, I'm just speaking of what I saw, man.
Okay, gotcha. I said Dancing with the Stars, but no, I think in terms of network, college football, game day shows, NFL Live, stuff like that, I just don't think right now there's room for him of what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I disagree with that part, and we'll see. Right? I mean, it doesn't have to be a long debate. I just disagree with that part. I almost sit here and I think, all right, Austin, Urban Meyer in 3 years calls us, and he's like, hey, I want to come on your show once a week. What do you think? We're like, no way in hell, man.
Yeah, I
don't know. I don't know if everybody's saying that. No, I'm not saying
you're not saying that.
We might say that. I think we might say that. But I'm not sure everybody's saying that. I just don't think everybody's saying that in this media business.
Well, if we aren't saying that, who's saying that then?
Oh, but that's the thing. Like, I mean, look, all you got to do is look at the politics, right? I mean, look at the political shows. You think, those guys are like these squeaky clean guys? I mean, of course not.
Do you think Fox News is having their own sports show now? What are you talking about?
We could probably get a really good pop the first episode.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
But that's my point.
No, I mean, if I could sit down with Urban Meyer one-on-one, and
I'd like to do that.
Well, okay, 2-on-1. Me and Brent, and then Urban Meyer.
Oh, dude.
Three
Come
on
on.
one. And you know what? Let's go ahead and bring our families then. So, I don't know, 6 on 1.
You already cut me out of the OKV show. I just want to be involved.
Okay, then let's go ahead and throw Ronan in there. So 7 on 1. We can all take our turns asking Urban Meyer questions. I just want it to be my thing.
Him.
I just want it to be my thing for once, but I can never have just my thing. It's got to always be the conglomerate. Fine. Let's say it's 7 on 1 with
There's
us.
no I in team.
And Urban Meyer. Yeah, but there's an ME. So let's go and say that we sit down with Urban Meyer and there's 7 people. Okay, fine. We all ask him questions. You know, not like necessarily like, you know, trap him or like set him up for failure, but just a nice, honest sit-down conversation of what happened, his side of the story. I would definitely do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, if I could get Urban Meyer today one-on-one, I'd be chasing it down. You know, and it's on our list. I mean, because that's part of covering the story. I mean, getting his side of things. I'm talking more down the road anyway from a you know, an everyday or a weekly thing. We'll see. We'll see where it ends up, and I don't think anybody really cares that much either, you know. So I think they're done with Urban Meyer, and that's it. And any chance to, you know, it's really interesting what people lose sight of a little bit in the Shad Khan part is, remember he said he was, what did he say? It's kind of like he said he was sensitive to the legacy of Urban Meyer, you know. And what's strange, Austin, is I'm just not sure Urban Meyer was sensitive enough to the legacy of Urban Meyer because he damaged it. And he hurt it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, to be fair, though, you know, when you talk about the legacy of Urban Meyer, I mean, if that – I guess I'm not mad at that because, like, if you would have brought in a coach, it's like it's all about my legacy and that's why I'm doing this and, like, everything that I do is for said legacy. Now, maybe if you would have lived that life, it would have been better this, you know, way go around for the Jaguars. But, like, I don't necessarily need a coach that has the ego that says, well, it's my legacy, my legacy, my legacy. I want a coach that is in the present that's trying to win ball games, you know? And I think sometimes legacy can get in the way of that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. All right, I really want to ask you this before we go to break, and then obviously we got so many topics, right? So many things, and we're going to move it forward too. I promise we will, because I know everybody wants to talk about what's next, and that's going to be could be a month-long conversation. But really, what I want to do is kind of put this in a microscope and say, Austin, you've played in a locker room before. What's next for this locker room? How do they feel today? How did they feel when they got up? And I understand there were some guys saying, hey, you go kind of like, hey, this celebrating this on a very mild, moderate level with their agents. There was some talk of that. I think I saw DJ Chark. I think I saw Travis Etienne. Kind of that was a little in between. But Chark was clearly like, all right, see ya. So I feel like, and you tell me because you've been in the locker room, I feel like this was like a collective sigh of relief.
Oh, yeah.
So much so that I feel like they might play well on Sunday. Like that much of a sigh of relief.
Yeah, I mean, I think a weight has been lifted off their shoulders. I think when they woke up, you know, that song Walking on Sunshine, like I think that was playing on the iPod when they were driving to work today. I just said iPod. Like I'm 55 years old. No, I meant like their phones and their speakers. But I think it's to that extent, though. I really do. I think the fact that whether it was, you know, the pressure of maybe getting ridiculed, the pressure of maybe losing their job, I don't know. We don't know wholeheartedly what this atmosphere was like, but judging by what we've heard, the behind the scenes, it was definitely toxic. So when that cancer is removed and you can go to work today knowing, like, you know what? It's not going to be as bad as it once was. Yeah, that gives you kind of a new lease on life, if you will. So I think there's going to be a lot of positive energy, a lot of intrigue now in that locker room. And I think in terms of the performance on Sunday, from what you hear, I guess these players really like Bevel. You know, the whole franchise likes Bevel, I guess, because it's like, you know, night and day in terms of what Urban Meyer brought to the table. But overall, I think once you lift that, you know, that thing off your back, and you feel relieved, you can play better. So I think we're going to see a fresh and rejuvenated Jacksonville Jaguars take the field on Sunday.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. So in that sense, is it different than anybody being fired? Or do you think it's different? Like, say, what happened? Like, Gus Bradley got fired with 2 games to go. Was there a collective, we don't have to answer those questions anymore, those kind of things? Or is this different just because of the toxic nature of Urban and what he created?
I think it's different from that nature because when you walk in that building and you know what's about to come in terms of just, hey, oh, here we go again. You know, are we going to get chewed out? What's the deal? Like, I think knowing that's gone, that makes all the difference in the world. So I think they're willing to answer whatever questions get put in front of them in terms of, the media. But at the end of the day, they're going to the stadium with a new lease on life just because, that toxic part of that team is now gone.
Casey, I love you. Like, you hung out with me on Spaces until like 3 in the morning, along with a couple hundred other people talking about. But I wouldn't have been mad at bumping out with a little Walking on Sunshine on my iPod. Here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. We'll be back live from String Sports Brewery right after this.
Mike Greenberg is Greeny.
Did anyone watch football last year and think, I think there's just too much taunting going on? These guys seem to be too excited when they make big plays, and every now and again, it seems to be in the face of their opponent. This does not have any impact on the competition of the game until you choose to make it so. And what I'm suggesting is don't choose that. Don't choose that.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. And watch exclusively on ESPN+.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at ActionSportsJacksDream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to ActionSportsJacksDream18.com.
Wake Forest and Texas A&M face off in Jacksonville at the 77th Tax Slayer Gator Bowl game on New Year's Eve. Game day starts early with pregame brunches beginning at 9 a.m., a special tribute to healthcare heroes in the pregame show, and kickoff at 11 a.m. on Bill Gay grounds at TIAA Bank Field. Don't miss college football pageantry on display. It's all happening on New Year's Eve at the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Game tickets and hospitality packages start at $50 and are on sale at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
Slip and falls can be embarrassing, leaving you in pain and feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After a fall, document the scene by taking photographs and make sure to get medical attention for any injuries you may have. If you've been injured in a slip and fall accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. I don't know about you, but my car could use a few upgrades. I mean, the 8-inch tear in the driver's seat does have sentimental value since my butt has molded to fit it, but I'm ready to move on. My solution? eBay Motors. They've got all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, from seat covers to whole new seats. When I get that new seat, I think I'll put the old one in the living room, right next to the minivan seats, or as we call it, the sectional. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Nights of Lights dazzles with more than 3 million lights in the historic district of St. Augustine. Now imagine doubling those lights as they reflect off the water during your tour with Redboat Tours. Avoid downtown crowds by boarding at Beach's Restaurant Marina at 250 Volano Road. Then sit back and let Captain Tony and Miss Jennifer take you on a tour you'll never forget. Don't settle for imposters. Make no mistake, Redboat Tours is St. Augustine's only USA Today Reader's Choice Best Boat Tour 3 years running. Book your Nights of Lights tours now at redboattours.com.
Quitting nicotine isn't easy, which is why Tobacco-Free Florida offers free tools and services like free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're also trying out music to help motivate smokers to quit.
Not another cigarette would be lame. Now there's someone living tobacco-free. It's you.
Wow. Okay. Maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
You have to factor this in. The report came out this afternoon about Urban Meyer allegedly kicking his kicker, former kicker Josh Lambo, during the summer. You had Shad Khan at the owners' meetings in Dallas. And so I think Shad Khan had to get back. I'm sure there were lawyers involved to try to figure out a resolution to how to resolve this relationship in the most diplomatic of ways when it's not that diplomatic. And they had to figure out how to essentially end this. Now, they have reached that decision tonight. Urban Meyer's out as the Jaguars head coach.
That is Adam Schefter, of course, of ESPN. Brent Martin along with Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz. And obviously, Urban Meyer, the dominating story. I was just telling Dave Wax here as we're getting ready to do some TV. Dave does a lot of our TV stuff behind the scenes, makes it all work here for Jaguars All Access.
Tell Wax I said what's good. That's my old boss.
That's right. I will do that. And I was telling him last night I left work a little after midnight. Here's the story, okay? Yesterday, Austin, right, we said on the show, I had gotten a heads up that something might go down, and somebody said this could be the nail in the coffin. Now, and I truthfully told you, even though I heard that, they would not tell me what it was. They just wouldn't tell me. And so, out of respect, I think, in hindsight now, out of the respect of their relationship with Josh Lambo. And so I understand that. So we're, poking around a little bit before the show yesterday, and then this breaks. And so, now we start to immediately on our show, we're like, hey, it's done. It's over. Like, this is it. I go back to TV and walking in, I tell the people on TV, I'm like, hey, next 24 hours, it's going down. Like, it's happening. And then a few hours go by and start digging around, right? Talking to some people and ask some people and even talk to some folks like our colleagues in the media, if you will. And there was a real thought that, hey, don't worry, go to sleep. Nothing's happening tonight. Nothing's happening.
I know I did.
Yes, you did. And so, anyway, we do the shows, and we know that it's a hot button issue with the Lambo stuff. And I start driving home, and it's raining. I was kind of surprised, but never even checked the forecast, but it's raining a little bit. And halfway home, basically, I get this alert that he got fired. And, you immediately like, wait a minute, is it real? Are people messing around? And so I was just telling Dave, I was like, and then I got a call from like the someone at work. So I was like, oh, no, this is it. And I like basically stopped on the highway because I was like, I mean, remember now, nobody's on the road. It's like 12:15 in the morning.
There you go. Good.
But I basically stopped because I was like, okay, should I turn around? Like, where's the nearest exit? I got to get back to the station. We're going to go live. Like, we're going to do – what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, I just, froze.
Go time.
Because I'm driving in the rain
and
trying to figure out what's going on. And then we decided not to go live because of the time in the morning. And then we got on this Spaces stuff. Have you ever tried Spaces on Twitter?
Can't say I've ever tried Spaces on Twitter.
Casey, it was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was interesting.
No, he didn't say fun. It says interesting. That's not good.
It was fun.
Okay, there you go.
It was fun.
Welcome back.
Yeah. No, it was good, Brent. You figured it out on the fly, and you had a lot of opinions. And what surprised me more than anything was you had, 40 or 50 people get to talk to you, which everyone was really complimentary of getting to talk to you. But nobody, went off a cliff and started saying anything crazy, which I thought was pretty cool, especially at 2 a.m.
So I did not want to encourage that, but I thought the same thing, Casey. I'm like, why? I thought people would be, dropping F-bombs and all that stuff on here, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was so cordial. You know what? But it was like going to, a late-night parade. I think everybody was just so happy. It shows you, everybody was just happy to see that this news had come down, that they were in a jubilant mood.
So Spaces is basically you can stream audio, right? You can, talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so a podcast.
Essentially live podcast.
You were
right?
podcasting without the podcast.
Yeah, I'm podcasting
Sort of.
with 10 people. So here's the thing. I have no idea Casey's up or anything. And I have no idea how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I feel like I saw some people. Casey, can you do it with video or is it just audio?
That I don't know yet.
Because I feel like I saw people do it with video, but it might have just been like their.
So it's kind of like streaming.
Yeah, well, I thought so. So. I'm thinking the whole time, like, oh, there's video. So okay, let me get in the where there's light. Of course, it's 1:00 in the morning almost. Everybody's sleeping, so I'm trying to I'm like, all right, I'll go out in the garage. But I'm thinking there's video the whole time, like live Twitter type of thing. And so I finally say, like, screw it. I'm just going to do it like near the Miss Pac-Man machine, like in the back room, and that's the most light. And so I started, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I can't see any video. I have no idea what's going on. My mic is muted.
This is when I was worried, by the way.
I've got Tanika Hughes retweeting me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I think I'm talking, but I can't hear anybody else, and I don't know if actually people are hearing me. I have no idea. And so I'm like, screw it. I'm gonna ask. I gotta hit end this thing because I don't want to say anything stupid or it just had so much dead air that nobody's even gonna jump in. And then I played with it a little bit, and then I was like, forget it. We got to do something here, so let's go for it. And as I'm doing that, Casey sees it. He jumps in. He's like, hey, make me like a co-host. And I'm like, how do I do that?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I have no idea how any of this works.
Rough.
And I will say it's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing was simple. I still don't know if I really did it right. Like, I'm sure there are some tricks to it. But I think we accomplished it. We had a good night on Spaces. Don't expect that every night at 1:00 in the morning. But we did it until what, Casey, like 3:00 in the morning?
Yeah, a casual 2 hours plus.
Dang.
Hey.
Yeah, well, I knew this, too. Like, I was like, I'm not going to bed because I was going to be back at the station at 4:30 for live hits.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm not going to get like an hour's sleep and I'll be more tired. I'm just going to go through this. And heck, let's talk about it, right? And
sure.
We had, Casey, how many people, I don't even know, how many people did we have at like 2:00 in the morning?
Flexing.
Yeah, I mean, at least there was always requests there. We had at least 30 at a time. Flex. And what was pretty cool is everybody got in that wanted to get in.
Nice.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think other people listen. Those were the requests. I mean, I think at some time you have like a couple hundred people there in your room.
So when people like Googled Urban Meyer on
probably.
Twitter, then like you would pop up on Spaces?
Yeah, and then, well, you got all the different time zones. So we got people overseas. We got people out in California where it's still like they're eating dinner, you know?
do you have to accept them to come in the group, or can they come in automatically?
They can. I had to do it on like a setting thing where like I'd say, okay, you're allowed in even if I've blocked you, which I haven't blocked any person ever on Twitter, so that wouldn't be a problem. Or maybe like I'm not following. No, seriously, I've never blocked anybody. Or I'm not following you or something like that. And so I think everybody was invited. But I allow them in. Like, I give them access, or Casey in this case could also give them access
Casey
to talk. And it was cool. I thought it was really good.
Props to you, man, because you essentially did a 2-hour Zoom interview at 1:00 in the morning. And, hey, man, I appreciate the hustle. I mean, Brent, obviously you too. It's your job, Brent. You know, I mean, I expect nothing less from you. You're going to carry that weight.
I wasn't on the clock, is what you're saying.
No, I mean, hey, that's quite the Zoom interview you guys did. Congratulations.
Hey, all for the people.
I appreciate you guys growing the show.
All right, let's take a break. But that is Spaces. I feel like I might go live on Spaces again, like maybe Christmas night. See what everybody got for Christmas. See if Santa came or something.
Okay.
But there were a lot of those folks on Spaces last night. It's like Santa came early.
I like that.
Hey, I got to do a little TV. You take it off the top, but I'll join you in a couple minutes after we come back. Darryl Bevel, by the way, is talking live on CBS 47 and Fox 30 right now. We're taking that live on the TV side of things. So reaction from the Urban Meyer firing is happening. We'll have some of that coming up. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, live from String Sports Brewery.
For the ones who are always in the know.
Delivery confirmed.
For the ones who keep things running. For the innovators and the problem solvers. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, experienced staff at local branches, and free access to experts to help answer your toughest questions. So whatever challenge you face, we have the knowledge and products to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jeeps, Chevys, Fords, Hondas, Toyotas, and more. Toyotathon is on, including all makes and models at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Arlington's got 300 used available. Plus, you'll buy with total confidence thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange program that comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Toyotathon is on, even on used at Arlington Toyota. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for full details.
Can health insurance be a doorway to a healthier life? To yoga classes? To nutrition classes? To nurses you don't need an appointment to see? Or even community specialists who give you access to helpful resources? It can. Our Florida Blue Centers offer all that and a whole lot more. All you have to do is walk through the door. What else can health insurance do? Find out at floridablue.com. Florida Blue, your local Blue Cross Blue Shield. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
You don't have to visit Buffalo to get fresh, delicious, mouth-watering wings made to order. Just go to the Extreme Wings nearest you. Extreme Wings is where the locals have been going for the freshest, never-frozen, world-famous hot wings since 1999. Dozens of flavors to choose from. Full liquor bar, happy hour specials, state-of-the-art TVs on every wall. After the game, after work, for lunch, for dinner. Make it extreme. Check out their award-winning Pit Road wings. Oh, they're so good. They are grilled to perfection with extremely secret seasoning. Looking for a family-friendly sports restaurant that can accommodate large parties? Well, look no further. You can take the entire team to Extreme Wings after the game, where all kids' meals are just $6.99. Come celebrate the grand opening of Extreme Wings' newest location. That's Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Extreme burgers, salads, wraps, and of course, world-famous Extreme Wings. Do what the locals do and make it extreme. Extreme Wings' newest location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, or visit a location near you.
Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
We're celebrating Pork Rind Appreciation Day on the biggest day in football because pork rinds and pigskin just go together. Southern Recipe Pork Rinds has teamed up with Coach Ditka's Gridiron Greats Assistance Fund to salute the legends of the game. Enter for your chance to win $5,000 and a year's supply of low-carb, protein-packed pork rinds at southernrecipe.com.
Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
Visit your local Tractor Supply Company today for your Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
Hey, Chrissy, it's Leo. We're going to need some backup on Friday night, okay?
Leo's Limos needs to say I do to 4 commercial drivers.
You booked another wedding on Saturday?
Before wedding season.
No. I'll make it work.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Look, this is the biggest failure of leadership on the part of a coach, probably in the history of the NFL, at least in my time anyway. Someone who was handed, gifted, didn't earn. He was handed and gifted an opportunity where he had free reign over an organization. Shad Khan gave Urban Meyer everything he possibly could want to go ahead and restructure and rebuild his organization as he saw fit, and he trusted him. He trusted him to do that, although, again, let me reemphasize this. As it relates to the NFL, he had not earned squat. He didn't earn this opportunity. There were many, many other coaches, minority and otherwise, just for those people out there who believe that now I'm just going to be advocating on behalf of minorities. I'm talking about all coaches who were qualified. He was handed an opportunity over them by Shad because Shad felt as though he needed to go in a different direction.
ESPN, right? That is Louis Riddick? Or is he NFL now? Is he ESPN?
ESPN.
ESPN's Louis Riddick. Where is the Brady Quinn footage? Where is the Brady Quinn audio? I want that. We got Brent Martineau back, by the way?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
We got Darryl Bevel talking on CBS 47, Fox 30, so I might get a little delayed in my TV hit.
Okay.
But I will say this and just give you an update, and I know you're going to get to a thought. as we welcome everybody back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. There's a lot going on in Jacksonville. But Darryl Bevell says spirits are high, and I think the folks out at practice today told me a lot of energy out there. Listen, the bottom line is there's a sense of relief, Austin. The players have a sense of relief. I mean, that's crazy to me. I mean, it just didn't work. It flat out just didn't work in Jacksonville with Urban Meyer. It was the wrong move, and the players are happy it's over.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised. Not surprised whatsoever. You know, I mean, I didn't see one player come to the defense of Urban Meyer. It is what it is. They're excited. They're ready to move on. They get Houston coming up.
Do you, Brett Martin, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz, again, I might have to step out for some TV, but we'll continue the conversation. And, hey, by the way, phone calls welcome, 904-362-9901. All day, every day, but especially on a day like today. So feel free to jump in on the conversation. And we've got so many topics to get to, including who will be next. And I also want to talk a little bit about Shad Khan coming up in the program until 6 o'clock tonight on ESPN 690. You said you were sleeping, right? So you woke up this morning. I don't know what time you get up for WAPE when you do your show.
5:30.
Yeah, okay. So you woke up and your phone was like crazy, right?
Yeah, woke up, phone was crazy. Friends texting me, what the heck? Because it was like, you know, at midnight or whatever. So friends are texting me like, what the heck? And I'm like, what? You know, I'm still kind of groggy. And then obviously I go on Twitter first thing and I see Urban Meyer's been let go. And then it was the whirlwind after that. You know, I mean, I literally get to the office, and, you know, I got Rich Jones pulling me in a direction saying, hey, dude, you got to come on and talk, you know, on the news channel, which at the time, because I'm such a nice guy, I absolutely did. And it was a great honor to be hosted on a news and talk show, my first one ever. But then the more I was doing it, the more I realized, well, this is cutting into the other show because this is kind of my competition. So, you know what I'm saying, Casey?
Yeah, I do.
And let's be honest, I have a brand to protect, right?
Yes, you do.
And you know what that brand is?
The cheetah?
Getting bucks, yeah.
Okay,
getting spots, getting money, getting, you know, Brinks trucks. And I felt like I maybe let the brand down a little bit by going to Rich Jones. Now, obviously, Rich Jones does a great job. WOKV 107.77. WOKV. Do what? What?
104.5.
106.9. WOKV. Yeah, so it was cool going on that show and everything. By the way, that was brought to you by Meyer and Austin in the morning on 95.1 WAPE,
nice.
Going on from 6 till 10. But no, it was an honor to go on Rich's show. You know, I mean, he's obviously a staple in the community, and he does a great job on 97.9 WKVO. So,
you know how I felt? You know how you felt when Brent was on the Kismet and you weren't?
No, do you know? Yeah, I do, because you know what? He brought it up again on the news talk show. Not even our show. Brent goes, yeah, you know, and I was on the Kismet talking to some guys. Austin wasn't there. Another jab on another station.
That's how I kind of felt when I woke up, checked Twitter, and saw that you guys were on ESPN 690 without me. That's how I kind of felt.
Wait, I was on ESPN 690 without you.
There was a simulcast, all right?
Oh, was it really a simulcast?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to call you in for that.
Casey, nobody told me that.
So I was like, you know, this is all right. You know, I know where I stand, but, you know, I was like, you know, I'm a little hurt.
Casey, I'm not sure what the end game is. I promise you, man, I had no idea that we were simulcasting on ESPN 690. If I would have, first thing is going to call you, bud. Hey. I don't care if it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm calling you first, letting you know. I had no idea.
Real talk, though, whoever's idea was pretty good, pretty solid option.
I'm not sure what the end game is with everybody here in this building. I'm not sure if they're trying to shut the morning show down. You know, that's Megan and Austin, 95.1 WAP, 6 to 10 in the morning, every single morning, Monday through Friday. I'm not sure if they're trying to shut that down. I'm not sure if Rich Jones is getting a little jealous because maybe, you know, getting a little bump now because Urban Meyer getting the morning show on our show. I'm not sure what the case was. But all I know is, hey, I don't want to go to war with Rich Jones. He's a great guy, does a lot of stuff for the community. So if you're into news and talk, definitely check him out. If you're into Ariana Grande and Olivia Rodrigo, then go ahead and check us out. And once again, that's Rich Jones at 95.7 WOKV.
Yeah, or you could tease this station, too. Keyshawn, Jay Williams, Max Kellerman, 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. on ESPN 690.
Yeah, they're doing fine without us. They're good.
Doing fine. They were talking to Urban Meyer, too. But Rich Jones is awesome, by the way. Like, he brings us in. He pays attention. He listens to us. You know, some people, like in the news world, I mean, say this quietly, they really don't pay attention to the sports. Well, Rich Jones does. Like, he's fantastic. What a pro. I mean, I was telling somebody after. What was I telling? Phil Amato. I'm like, watching, like, Rich Jones, like, navigate through questions, answers, talking to people off air, and then boom, the light comes on after a traffic report, and 10 seconds later, I mean, it's pretty good. Yeah. You can tell the guy's been doing it.
No,
you can tell why 104.5 WOKV does so well. Rich Jones, the leader of that show.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I mean, well, he's doing good, I would say. Yeah,
he's doing well.
I'm sure he's doing.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm doing pretty good too.
Doing well.
Doing pretty.
Yeah.
Did you come to the sand? Did you
let's
come to
just
the? Hey, did you say it? What? Say it.
He's a bigger cheetah with a lot more spots.
Oh no, man! Don't get it twisted. Cheetah's gone over here. Polar bear now. Straight polar bear. I ain't a cheetah anymore. I'm a polar bear now.
Spots?
Oh, hey, have you seen a polar bear with spots? Go and get back to me if you have. I'm a polar bear right now, man. I'm hibernating. I'm chilling.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun actually to do the show and do a little special coverage.
Nice. Very nice.
And, hey, are you getting like a lot of like CBS 47 in your ear?
Yeah, I am. Yes.
Where's that coming from?
Not in here. We're definitely not doing that.
Yeah, Brent. Because we're professionals.
I think it's here at Strings.
Probably
right?
is.
So we're
All
covering
right.
live on CBS 47 and Fox 30, which means I probably have to go on TV in a couple moments.
Okay.
But, hey, why don't you get a call? Kay is on the line. He's been a big Urban Meyer supporter, I think. So why don't you do battle with Kay, and I might do a little TV.
Sounds like a plan. Kay, talk to me, man. How we doing today?
What's up, Austin? What's up,
man? I'm just trying to make some money, Kay, and people are trying to take that away from me, but it's all good. That's not the debate. Go ahead, man.
No, you look good in the octagon. I've seen some videos on the internet.
Oh, I got you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. You got it going. Like I think they sleep on these NFL athletes that come over to the octagon, not realizing you guys put in so much work. Oh, I mean, from what I've heard, you get paid. Like the pay is really training camp and practice, and the games are just fun. So
exactly, for sure.
They don't get it, dude. They don't get it. But yeah. So look, I honestly believe that they need to hire an African-American coach. Now, listen, I know what some people on the other radio station are saying is that I don't care if the coach is purple or green. It doesn't matter. Just hire the best guy. First of all, that's racially insensitive to African-Americans because black people don't like when you bring up green or purple people because they don't exist if they're not on Sesame Street, right? So, listen, under Shad Khan, he's never had an African-American head coach, an African-American GM, OC, or DC, right? Period, at all. Under Wayne Weaver, we did. We had 3 black quarterbacks. We had a GM. We had a VP. We had Mel Tucker as DC and interim head coach. But under Shad Khan, that's never, ever happened. So this is what I was thinking. Maybe it's in God's plan for all of you religious people. Maybe it's in God's plan for the very first Super Bowl that the Jaguars win. It's under a black head coach. You never know. It could be in his plan, and maybe that's why we've been getting all of this bad luck. I'm just saying, Shad Khan, just try something different, man. We've never, ever, under your leadership, had any form of a black guy at any leadership role in terms of front office or head coach or coordinator. So could we just please do something different? Listen, Austin, I don't know if it's Leftwich. I don't know if it's Bieniemy. I don't know. But let's try a black dude just one little tiny time. Just one time, Shad. That's all I'm asking.
All right. Thank you, Kay. Listen, as someone who is biracial and wants to see, more representation in the NFL, yeah, sure. I mean, I hope, Shad Khan at least takes a look at guys like Bieniemy, takes a look at guys like Byron Leftwich. But I'm not going to sit up here and say, that has to be the primary focus of getting a minority head coach. I think it's great if it turns out like that. But keep in mind what we're talking about here. We're talking about an organization, the Jacksonville Jaguars, that was spearheaded by Shad Khan and players in that locker room, black, white, or whatever you want to call them, that were one of the very first teams, if not, I think the very first professional sports team that marched for Black Lives Matter. That made me more prouder to be a Jacksonville Jaguar than anything in this team's history, including going to an AFC Championship game. That's what I was proud of. So and I'm speaking from experience here, if you walk in that building, TIAA Bank Field, and you walk through those offices, you're going to see a whole plethora of different types of races, I'm sure religions, and everything in between. I understand that in terms of a football team, yeah, you want to have you want to have a mixture. You just don't want to have the cookie cutter coaches that we've been accustomed to. It seems like in the 80s and the 90s. And I do think that the NFL is kind of taking a paradigm shift there, whether it's right or wrong in terms of the protocols that they got to follow to, essentially interview black candidates or minority candidates. I mean, there's debate about that. But at the end of the day, I'll be honest, okay? I just want the best possible candidate, okay? If that's Bieniemy, then so be it. If that's Byron Leftwich, then so be it. If it's Josh McDaniels, I'm not going to sit here and throw a pity party because Josh McDaniels is a white head coach. Far from it. I think Josh McDaniels would be great here in Jacksonville. I think he's got the head coaching experience, number one. I think number two, he comes from, obviously the greatest coaching trio of all time in Bill Belichick. I think that could be an interesting guy. But my point is, I get where you're coming from. Once again, as I always say to you, Kay, I love the passion, but my main focus here is not going to be, well, let's hire a black coach. The main focus here, and it may be cliche and maybe echoing other people from other radio stations, my main point is to try to hire the best coach possible. Okay, so we got another guy on the line?
We got Adrian.
Yo, Adrian, what's up, man? How we doing?
Yo, hey, how's it going?
Going good, man.
Hey, on the Urban Meyer case, the previous caller kind of stole some of my thunder. I'm an Ohio State fan from way back, going back to Woody Hayes days. I live down here now, but, my question is like, why did Urban Meyer get fired, but how did he get the job? Through the vetting process, anybody that ever followed anything about Ohio State football and watched any press conferences when he got in trouble with the domestic abuse scandal with that assistant coach, and they observed those press conferences, either A, he was lying about his mental illness, or B, he was mentally ill. He was a total zombie. And when they took him back after his 3-game suspension, they let it all roll because they knew they had Ryan Day sitting there, and the deal was already made. They ran his ass out of Ohio State and let him sit there and get his money and everything and try to make it as smooth as possible for the institution. And this guy, 2 years later, winds up getting a job as a head coach. I mean, the vetting process, anybody that ever saw any of those press conferences would go, how in the hell can you hire this guy? I don't, black, white, or purple or green. I don't understand it.
Adrian, thanks
especially without any NFL experience. So that's all I have to say.
No, for sure, Adrian. Thanks for calling. All right, so let's go ahead and break that down. All right, now you bring up a good point in terms of the NFL experience, right? He had none, but he did have college football experience, and he had experience in terms of winning and turning programs around, and that's what owners, that's what GMs want to see. Okay, I can sit here and point at Cliff Kingsbury and say, well, as far as college football experience is concerned, wasn't much there, and as far as NFL experience is concerned, as far as a coach, I don't think there was that much there. But Cliff Kingsbury right now seems to be at the forefront of this new school of coaching. So in terms of that, well, the resume, it was all about the wins and losses, right? Because that's what football is about. It's about wins and losses. And Urban Meyer in the college realm had a lot more wins than he did losses. Now, let's play off that a little bit. Let's dive deeper into it. We're talking about the National Football League. We're talking about a league that is going to reward players if they have bad optics, if they mess up and get arrested, as long as they have the means to justify it, as long as they have the talent to override them getting in trouble. Okay? I don't need to go down the laundry list of examples because it's only going to get me frustrated, but you know what I'm talking about. You can be seen on film kicking a woman. You might get let go of that team, and a couple years later, you're back on a new team. Why? Because you're that talented. That's how the NFL works. Teams are looking to look past things. Set aside, can you answer the most important question? Can you help us win? Now, as far as the polarizing optics that followed Urban Meyer from Florida to Ohio State, yes, they were there, right? And we had experts come on this show and try to warn us against it. And long story short, they were right. But I sat in the boat, and I don't want to speak for Brent. Brent can speak for himself, but I think a lot of people sat in the boat and said, you know what? we're going to look past these bad optics. We're going to look past the hearsay because can Urban Meyer come to Jacksonville and help you win? Not saying that's the right way to think about things. Not saying that's the wrong way to think about things. I'm just saying that's the way it is. That's the way the NFL works. And I was excited for Urban Meyer because I thought he was going to come in here and change things and win ball games because that's what this team needs. I was wrong at that. I was obviously dead wrong when it came to that. But that's what the NFL is, man, right? It's not the choir boy. You know, I mean, we want to make fun of the draft class from a year ago, call them all choir boys, and that's fine. But when it comes to coaches, when it comes to star players, when it comes to the polarizing figures, if you got a winning record, if you can supposedly help a team win, people can overlook a lot of stuff. And that's what we did here with Urban Meyer.
You want to talk to South Beach Gary?
Who are the Dolphins playing this week? Do I have to hear them talk about how they're going to win another ball game?
You can tell them about your Will Fuller card.
That's a good point. Yeah, Will Fuller's still on the bench. All right, hey, South Beach Gary, let's get him on.
Well, you know the Dolphins are going to win. That goes without saying. But you know, Dawson, all these guys after the fact, when you know for a fact I came on and told you and Brent, even before the Chris Style, that it was a bad hire, all these other people after the fact, you know, I never heard that last caller on the air before. But all of a sudden he knew that Urban, when you know Austin, I called it from the very beginning.
Well, okay, to be fair, South Beach Gary, a lot of people called it from the beginning. Okay, a lot of people were leery to hire Urban Meyer because they thought.
But they didn't come on the air and put themselves on the line like I did.
Oh no! I mean, hey, by all means, man, put yourself on the line. I'll give you credit. You day one, you said Urban Meyer wasn't going to be a good hire. I'll give you props to that. And you also told me that Will Fuller was going to be a good hire. Was going to be a good signing. Casey, can we go to the Will Fuller stat box quick?
Do they exist?
Is it there?
All right, that's enough. But I also told you guys when the Raiders were 3-1, they would pay like they always do, and that's come to fruition. I ought to have my own show, Austin. I'm so good.
I mean, you can definitely have your own show. I recommend going on Twitter, and what do you call that thing now?
Spaces.
Spaces, man. Go and get a Spaces. Maybe you and Brent Martineau can double team that thing. Call it Spaces. Let's go.
4 for 26.
But all these guys after the fact, come on the line and put it on the line when it happens. Anyone can say after the fact when you know very well. South Beach Gary called it from the beginning. Have a great one, Austin.
Yeah, South Beach Gary, you too, man. And now, by the way, Casey, let's get that Will Fuller stat line up here for everybody. But by the way, I think South Beach Gary said he had an injury history, but it's going to be a great signing because he's got speed.
Looks like 4 for 26.
Now, is that in totality of the season?
Yeah, regular season, yeah.
So 4 catches in 14 games? Because, I mean, hey, if you're going to put it on the line about Urban Meyer, you better be willing to put it on the line about Will Fuller as well. Casey, in 14 games or 13 games?
Yeah, that's how many have been played.
Man, you hate to see it. You hate to see 4 catches in 14 games from Will Fuller. But you know what? And Casey, you were here. His card sits on top of my laptop screen now. Or not laptop, but my PC screen. It just fell down. Let me go and put that back up because we got to display it. What did I try to tell everybody? People wanted Will Fuller here. Said he's got wheels. He's a burner. Urban Meyer's going to love him. Hey, Casey, what did I say about that? Nah. Too injury prone, right?
Yeah.
Little too injury prone. Hey, South Beach Gary, I appreciate it, man. You called Urban Meyer. Will Fuller, though, might want to stick to MySpace and have your own program because don't bring that Will Fuller nonsense to Spaces. Nobody wants to hear that, man. More on ESPN 690 when we get back.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Tonight, we will have partly cloudy skies with mild temperatures falling into the upper 50s. There will be an early shower possible, but then areas of fog developing overnight. I'm meteorologist Alyssa Pedjick, and that's your Action News Jax First Alert forecast.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where the anniversary sale's been extended through Christmas Eve. Save up to 41% store-wide. Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7. And we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Are you curious about marijuana? Florida A&M University established the Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, also known as MARY, to educate the public about medical marijuana use as well as the detrimental health and social impacts of unlawful marijuana use on local communities. Find out more at mmeri.famu.edu.
Injuries on the job can cause you to lose control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar Levine. Money is not coming in and your medical bills are piling up. Our legal team is here to help. We can help you file all your workers' compensation claims to make sure you get the proper benefits you're entitled to. If you've been injured on the job, call the law offices of Anajar Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
For the ones who get going when the going gets tough. And the ones who know we're tougher together. For the Pathfinders breaking new ground. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as fast access to experts and 24/7 customer support. Because we know you have people depending on you. So you can always depend on us. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tobacco-Free Florida knows how hard it is to quit nicotine, which is why we offer different quit options to choose from for free, like 24/7 quit coaches available over the phone and free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're even experimenting with 80s pop music.
I'm giving you up, giving you up, giving you up. I'm letting you never come back to slow. I'll never come back to slow. I'll never come back. I'm giving you up.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Obviously, there was a lot of reporting done on Urban Meyer over the weekend. And at that point in time,
I had been told specifically that Shad Khan was planning to stick with Urban Meyer. When he arrived at the owners' meetings this week, after you saw Urban Meyer walk off the field in what turned out to be his last game as the Jaguars head coach, when he had a look like he did not enjoy this job anymore. Everybody saw the video of him with Mike Vrabel. It was almost this indifferent look of somebody who was unhappy doing a job. And many coaches, they kill for the opportunity to be a head coach.
Right.
That did not look like something that Urban Meyer enjoyed doing.
That is Adam Schefter from ESPN. Has plenty of national reaction to this story. And that is the one thing about Urban Meyer. We talked about this morning with Rich Jones and Austin Lane on WOKV and ESPN 690. When we had a special show from 9 a.m. until 10 a.m., is that Urban Meyer is a lightning rod, you know? I mean, he is a polarizing guy, and he's a big name.
Yeah.
And so it's not like all this happened with, I mean, let's just say it happened like with Nick Sirianni in Jacksonville, all right? If it happened in Philadelphia, it's always going to be big anyway. But it's just different, you know? Or let's just use Darrell Bevel, right? Darrell Bevel, he was the head coach, and all this happened. Well, totally different. It'd be a big story, but totally different because it's Urban Meyer. Mm. And you feel that, and everybody is talking about it. And what we've heard as we welcome everybody back, and we're ducking in and out of TV here, and Trevor Lawrence just spoke live on Fox 30 along with Darrell Bevel. And so I'll tell you what those guys said in just a couple moments. Brett Martineau, String Sports Brewery here in Springfield. Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz, Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. A lot going on here on a Thursday as Urban Meyer is fired. And, I actually heard, guys, that of all the things, I think a lot of times everybody's like, well, the Tom Pelissero report, that really brought light to everything. Well, it was part of it, but it wasn't. Again, we met with Shad Khan on Monday night. The reports weren't firing Urban Meyer. I don't even think the single report and article on the Tampa Bay Times of Josh Lambo would have fired Urban Meyer. We actually heard that what maybe bothered Shad more than anything, and again, you hear different things, was the actual treatment of like James Robinson over those couple of weeks and few weeks. And so that was the thing that got kind of, now that didn't fire him, but it really started to get their attention, that whole topic and story. And so it's interesting as you interpret things, and that was more of an on-the-field thing. It carried off the field as well because it became a big issue, but that was an on-the-field type of thing, and I think where Shad might have even started questioning some of the aloofness of Urban Meyer, some of the judgment of Urban Meyer, and what are you doing? Like, this is illogical. Why aren't you playing your best player when you're not scoring any points, right? And so it's very interesting to get in the mind of Shad Khan. And he said he wasn't going to be impulsive. He wasn't going to act hasty. And then all of this added up to what transpired late last night and the firing of Urban Meyer.
No, absolutely. I mean, anytime your best player on your football team is not playing, it better raise some questions, it better get some attention, and it better, cause some controversy. So, I mean, if that's the straw that broke the camel's back, then so be it. But, I mean, it was a laundry list of things. But I think in terms of, where they fall in the grand scheme of things, yeah, that was probably the most important because you weren't winning games because of it.
Yeah, good point.
And real quick, too, Brent, coming back from the break, I wanted to address this real fast with some of our callers. Casey, I know you've been looking for a nickname. I got a nickname for you now, man, because I'm making a precedent right now on ESPN 690. If you call in and you make a prediction of what's going to happen, whether it was Urban Meyer's not going to pan out, Casey, you're the auditor now. You're taking receipts, okay? You're going to write these people's names down, and you're going to be like, okay, he said this and this and this. Because don't call into our show and say you called about Urban Meyer saying, well, he wasn't going to make it, but then don't admit that you were wrong about Will Fuller when you said, well, Will Fuller is going to be great for the Miami Dolphins this year, because he's not, because he has 4 catches in 14 games. So not a good showing from Will Fuller. I understand you want to celebrate the victories, but you got to learn from your defeats. And people right now, Casey, calling our show, they're not learning from their defeats, okay? So you got to start taking these receipts down. Auditors in the house.
Okay.
Very
and
good.
I'm sure you can figure out who then called Brent just by that. But
go and take a wild guess.
Yeah, I get it. I don't even have to say his name. I understand exactly what you're talking about. Hey, Trevor Lawrence, I tweeted out while you guys were talking, and let's see.
we were all talking, but yeah,
Well, I was
discussion.
just listening to Trevor. I decided not to jump back in since you guys had so much fun.
Must be nice, huh? Just to take a little Twitter break from the show.
Must be
Well, I
nice.
didn't
Hey, Cliff
know.
Kingsbury.
I was on hold whether I was going to go on TV. Trevor interrupted my TV
Oh, that's when you made it. Hey, but you know what, though? And that's the difference. That's the difference between a Brent Martin and a Paul Feinbaum. Paul Feinbaum's made it. Upper echelon, he ain't taking Twitter breaks.
Not a one.
He's invested in the show.
Locked
Meanwhile, I'm going to war for the show with guys like South Beach Gary. But it's all good, though, man. Take your Twitter break. You're good.
Trevor Lawrence, I respect Coach Meyer. I appreciate him. He drafted me. I wish him the best. Pretty formal response, okay? Not an emotional response. Not a lot of emotion coming from Trevor. He seemed in a light mood, a good mood. I don't want to stretch it and say a relief kind of mood, because I think that would insinuate he was relieved that Urban Meyer got fired. He might be, but I think he was relieved the drama is over for now. And exactly how we thought they might feel, that the drama is over, and now they can just play football for the last 4 weeks. And you could certainly sense that listening to Trevor. He actually said, he actually says it wasn't relief, but it brings some clarity. We want to finish season strong. It's hard to be focused to win the game with everything going on the last couple of weeks. He said when you get to the home stretch, you need the momentum going into the offseason for the morale. If we can finish strong, that would be great, something to build on. We are looking at these games as playoff games. And later on in the week, we'll talk about the value of these games. I think they are very valuable because you have 3 rookie quarterbacks you're facing over the next 3 weeks and a couple of opponents that are in the AFC South. Trevor also said, last thing I wanted was for everyone to go crazy. We've done a good job keeping things internal. I've been proud of the team. We have to keep going and keep being positive. And that's an interesting note there, Austin, because I know you don't love when I brag about the news conferences. I'm not going to do that right now. But I will say I have heard over the last 10 days especially that Trevor has really kind of taken a step up in leadership. Not to say he wasn't leading before, but he said he took more ownership of this team, almost to the point, and this is what I read into it, like, all right, if the head coach isn't going to take the leadership, then I got to go do this because I'm going to keep this thing together. Like, that's the way I read into it. And this is a guy that's led before. He's very mature. We've learned about that. We've said that. It's a freshman at Clemson. He won a national title. He knows what that's like. And in my opinion, we'll see. Again, I think he has to match the play. We've talked about this a couple times in the last week. But internally, the way those guys look at him in the locker room, I think it might have taken a big step in the last 10 days or so on the way he's handled things and maybe led things inside that building.
Let me ask you this. You know, with Urban Meyer being an offensive-minded guy, and obviously with Urban Meyer it didn't go well. You know, he didn't have a lot of followers. There was no leadership there. So that offense had nobody to turn to. Are you more surprised that Trevor Lawrence became the leader and became the field general, or would you be more surprised if he didn't? Because I'd be more surprised if the conversation is, well, Trevor hasn't really said anything. Trevor hasn't really stepped up. I mean, dude, you're the first overall pick. You're Trevor Lawrence. But of course.
Yeah, that's fair, Austin. I don't know. Do you get the view that Zach Wilson is doing that inside the New York Jets locker room?
I don't think Zach Wilson has to right now.
Why not?
Because you got Robert Saleh. Because you have veterans on that team. Because you have a culture that's starting to be put into place.
All right. So you're just saying because of the drama, right? You're not saying, like, naturally, even a rookie, if things were going, 2-11, but we weren't making headlines around here, you're not saying by this time you would hope that he was taking this leadership role or something like that.
You're
think just saying because of the circumstances.
Of course. I think if this team won 5 or 6 games, I think we'd be praising Marvin Jones. I think we'd be praising, James Robinson. I also think we'd be praising Trevor Lawrence as well. But I don't think we'd be talking about how Trevor Lawrence has really stepped up and, like, he's, like, the leader of this offense now. I don't think that would be the conversation. I think the conversation came up into place because literally it was born out of drama and fire, and he had to do it because there's no other option.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm not sure we know the full answer to when all this happened until later down the road. And he starts playing better. Because, as you said, and I agree, and I think we all agree, he's going to play better. And I just think this would be an opportune time to do so, especially given the fact you're playing Davis Mills, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones coming up the next 3 weeks. It would be really a big time for Trevor and what he said and how he's led and now how he could play over these next few weeks. By the way, Darrell Bevel said, James Robinson is our starting running back, and he will play as such.
Good.
Read into that what you will. Was this an Urban Meyer decision? There's a lot of talk that it was, and some of the reports indicated that it was on the James Robinson front. I can tell you this. I've been around James every Monday night, and I'm not trying to put words in his mouth. This is just my reaction. He never said this to me. But I just always got the impression that he wasn't a huge fan of Urban Meyer. And that was way back. That was even before everything else. And by the way, I think James Robinson has the right not to be a big fan of Urban Meyer. From the draft to the depth chart to the way they handled them, the way they ran them, the way they didn't run them, and what they said about him at times. So I would not be surprised if he didn't. And I'm not saying he hates him, but I just never got the feeling that he was a big fan. And so maybe there's some relief even in a guy like James Robinson today and other players that might have been treated or felt the same way about Urban Meyer. And we don't know those circumstances, of course. Rich Jones asked a great question this morning when we had their special show. And I really had to think about it. And I want to bring it back up. When did the locker room fracture? When did it break away from Urban? When did he lose the locker room? And in my opinion, Austin, I think it was around the James Robinson situation.
Oh,
it could have been before that, right? And I think, were you in there for this question?
No, I was not. I ended up coming in later.
I was also not there.
In case he wasn't there either. But, yeah, sponsorship of Megan and Austin in the morning at 610 95.1 WAP. No, I ended up showing up later, actually.
Okay,
so I was not in there.
Well, I believe it. I believe that we as a public, an outside looking in, I think we realized it and we're like, uh-oh, around the James Robinson situation because, one, it was so, again, illogical and dumb and unforced. And then on top of that, you had players coming to his defense. And what James ended up saying on our Jags Report live show on Monday nights a few weeks back forced a meeting between him and the coach and then forced a vocal Trevor Lawrence to say and support his teammate. And I'm sure others did as well. So I think from that point is where I gather, all right, that's where they were like, what are we doing? Right? And somewhere in that stretch, not right when they talked, but somewhere in that 16-play benching and 20-play benching of what are we doing here? We're not scoring points and our best player's not playing. I feel like that's the time where they were like, that he might have lost the locker room right then. Now, you can make the case he lost the locker room back when he didn't take the plane home from Cincinnati, but how do you feel? Where do you think he might have lost it?
Yeah, I think he lost the locker room when he didn't take the plane back home from Cincinnati. That's where I think it all, went to hell, if you will. Because, I mean, before that, I mean, you can maybe say the Doyle situation, but I don't think he lost the locker room. Now, I think he put himself in a bad light with that hire, and then a couple days later, Doyle's gone. But if you look at, after that Cincinnati game, what it looked like. Now, I mean, granted, you beat Miami, and that is a feather in your cap. But, the regression, especially of the offense, happened after that Cincinnati game.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, you can say what you want about Miami, but it wasn't like the offense really – I mean, I don't know, whatever. But I think you lost that offense at the Cincinnati game. Urban Meyer, offensive-minded coach. So, to me, when you made the decision to stay in Cincinnati while your team just got beat on primetime television and the video surfaces of you doing whatever you're doing in a bar with another girl or whatever, and that gets back to them, and then they have to answer questions about that, that is when you lost the locker room.
Casey, you have a thought there?
Yeah, I would side with Austin on that one. It just something about it. Well, a lot about it wasn't right, and then when the video comes out, yeah, I would say that's probably when you lost it. But it sure as heck didn't help when you benched James Robinson and we all knew it, and you wouldn't say it. I'm sure that didn't sit well either. But that was probably, like Austin said earlier, the straw on the camel's back, or however that goes. I tweeted it. I don't remember it exactly, but
no, you're fine. So sometimes I talk like I'm 65 years old. It's cool.
Which I kind of like.
I don't know why.
I will say this, by the way, and hidden in there, it could have been, you never know, right? We don't know. We don't know what it was. But Marvin Jones, we still don't know exactly what day that all happened, I don't think, unless I missed that in the reports. But that might have been it. Marvin Jones is a respected guy. And your head coach is getting in a verbal altercation with him, and that guy wants to leave the building. And it's like, what the hell are we doing here, right? Essentially. That could have been it. So I don't know when the moment is. I just think from a public view, I thought the James Robinson front, but it easily could have been what you said too, Austin. Let me ask you this, and we're going to start flipping it forward to where do we go from here, right? Any chance Darrell Bevell gets the head coaching job of the Jacksonville Jaguars? Based on results of the last 4 weeks, how he handles everything, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Doug Marrone turned his 2-game opportunity into the head coaching job, you might remember.
Who's calling the plays this season?
Darrell Bevell.
No. Then no.
What if they're like, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but is there any chance they come out and it's so much different and maybe we think differently about Darrell Bevell?
I mean, then you have to answer the question of how much influence did Urban Meyer truly have on this offense. And maybe he had a lot more than we gave him credit for. But, like, if I'm Darrell Bevell and my name is tied to this offense and, like, Urban Meyer is trying to, micromanage, which I guess Urban Meyer didn't really do, but if that was truly the case, then you got to stand up for your offense and say, no, man, I got it. I'm just judging by what I've seen from this offense the past however many ever games where you're, dropping 6 points or 0 points. It's not good. Now, maybe there's distractions going on and all this stuff, but no, it's not good. The quarterback development has not been good. The red zone offense has not been good. The penalties have not been good. That's on offensive coordinators. I can't say, well, I've seen enough from this offense to say, well, I think Darrell Bevell gets a shot at the head coaching gig. I would, to be fair, I'd much rather see Joe Cullen become a head coach here. I don't think that's not going to happen either, but I think the defense has had a lot more success right now than the offense has had.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Austin, I agree with you, by the way. I've heard great things about Darrell Bevell. I've heard he's a great guy. I've defended him early in the year. I haven't defended him as much as of late. But maybe his hands were tied. But I agree with you. I think these offensive coaches, we can blame everything on Meyer, but the offensive coaches have not done a good job. Was that all Urban Meyer? I'm not sure I'm willing to go there, just as much as I'm not willing to go there that it wasn't some of the players' fault at times, right? I mean, we can't just put everything on Urban. He set the table for bad. He set the table for, obviously, this culture that wasn't good, dysfunction, and a hard place to work at, it seems like. But I just don't think we can blame everything for that. I mean, it's football at the end of the day on Sunday, and they didn't get it done. So I agree with you. I'd have a hard time. I kind of feel the same way about Trent Baalke. I don't know enough about Baalke. I don't know who was pushing the buttons there either. And so internally you can say that more. I just feel like this is going to be a clean house, and that will get us into the next part of the conversation. Go ahead.
Yeah, see, and I think that too, but that's a damn shame, man. If you're truly going to cut the cord on everybody, a Band-Aid right off and start from scratch again, that's fine. But I think if you're going to retain anybody, and I get it, I'm biased, I played for him, say what you want, but I think Joe Cullen has earned an opportunity to be defensive coordinator going forward here for this team.
Well, in Austin, he has. Let's talk a little bit more about that. We got to take a break. Let's take a break. Let's talk a little bit more about Joe, because I think he has, but I'm just not sure the way the league works it will be here.
Yeah.
And I just think that's the reality of it. But let's expand upon that. And I want to also mention Shad Khan real quick. How does Shad Khan look in all of this? I got it right this time. Uh-oh, I made a big mistake. Pull the plug 11 months later. Do we give him credit for that even after the wrong initial move? Or is it just the initial move and we've got 10 years and all the other stuff? I'm interested to get your thoughts on how we view it, because I know I view it one way, especially with the events of the last couple of weeks. So we'll go there, and also a little on Joe Cullen when we come back. And then we're going to football at 5, we're going to say, okay, who do you want, right? We're going to who are the Jags going to get? Who's out there? We talk about it all live from String Sports Brewery, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
This is Action Sports Jacks.
I think I'm getting closer and closer to doing the anatomy of the screenplay. I mean, what the hell? I mean, why can't we run a screen in Jacksonville for 14 years since I've been here? 14 freaking years we can't run a screenplay. And then on defense, we can't stop the damn thing. They can't stop a screenplay. We can't run a screenplay. What is going on in Jacksonville? I mean, it's unbelievable. They run screenplays in high school. Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com.
Hey, boss, did you notice the holiday decorations on your street?
Oh, yeah, it's getting to be that time of year again.
Yeah, makes me so happy I want to sing.
Uh-oh, I smell a song coming on.
It's beginning to look a lot like Crooksmas.
Nice. Packages near every door.
But the prettiest sight to me...
no safe touch signs, you see.
Do-it-yourself alarms we like much more.
A pair of houses in a row.
Do they have safe touch?
No, no, no.
So crooks like us use Crash and Smash
to get inside and take the cash.
It's beginning to look a lot like Crooksmas.
DIY alarms we love for sure.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Got a business trip, long weekend, or maybe you just really want to try that new Toyota before you buy it? Then get it all when you rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. With easy online reservations and rental rates as low as $19.95 a day, there's nothing stopping you from hitting the open road in a new 2021 Toyota. So rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Try it before you buy it and reserve your rental online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Holidays are here, and so is fashionable fitness. Get yourself a Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G. It's a phone that folds in half to literally stand on its own. It's a cool phone. You can pair it with your Galaxy Watch 4 for ultimate wellness and wow factor. You can check health stats, flex personal records. Over 90 activities can be tracked, such as biking, swimming, golfing, and more. So invest in yourself with tech made to crush goals. Holidays open up with Galaxy. Shop it all at Samsung.com. 5G connection and availability may vary. Check with carrier. Products are sold separately.
Napa know-how.
At Napa, get great deals on a variety of Craftsman tools all month long for those DIYers in your family, like the 20-volt drill driver combo with a battery and charger for just $119. With a deal like that, we're putting unfinished projects on notice. Looking at you, loose doorknob. That's the drill driver combo, just $119. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores and NapaOnline.com while supplies last. Offer ends 12/31/21.
Join ESPN 690 on March 5th for the Gate River Run. Registration for the 15K, 5K for charity, Junior River Run, and the Brooks Rehabilitation Mile Challenge is now open at GateRiverRun.com. Training information is available on the website. See you at the starting line.
Well, I think they were focused. I was really excited about that because anytime you have really any type of distractions that it can be something that can affect practice and affect the things that you're doing. So I was fired up the way that they came out there. They handled their business, and we practiced really well today. We got a little bit of rain to work out in as well, because I think there's a chance for rain in the game. So that's always good opportunities.
That's Darrell Bevel, new interim coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we'll see where it lands. 4 games to go, and I think people are excited about that inside the building. That's the word I get. I want to share this with Mark Long because I didn't report this last night or today, but I'll just give you a little bit of a nugget and an anecdote on top of what Mark said. He said Darrell Bevel confirms that Urban Meyer left the Jaguars facility after practice yesterday and never returned, leaving staff to prep without him. heard they were in the dark as to where he was and what was happening. Well, I had heard yesterday that at 4:30 on a Wednesday, Urban Meyer was gone. Checked back on it about 6:30. Car, gone. 8:30, 9 o'clock. Car, still not there. That is super unusual on a Wednesday. Now, what I can't figure out, because I don't know if he got fired at that time. And the timing, at least from what we know and what we were digging on and all this stuff, doesn't add up to 4:30. It could have. It could have been that he had already known and nobody else did. And they were just kind of planning how they were going to release it, and they kept it under wraps. Jags and Shad Khan, by the way, does a fantastic job of keeping things under wraps if he wants to. And so he might have already known and left the building, and boom, out of there. But it was odd, and Austin, you know this. That's pretty odd, right? I mean, for a head coach to not be in the building from 4:30 on. A lot of times on Wednesdays, guys will stay until 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, sometimes even later.
Yeah, I mean, obviously something was up, you know. I'm sure he kind of saw the landscape of what was transpiring, and I'm sure the writing was on the wall for him. You know, I think it might have been held under wraps for that long, but I'm sure he probably knew the news before anybody else did.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And again, we don't know the specific timing of it. And it doesn't matter. I just did find it interesting. We didn't report it last night, but there was some discussion in some of my conversations about that was odd and something could be up. And by the way, also, I think there were some important people still in the building, not named coaches, around that time trying to figure all this out. Because there is a thing, you got to figure out the contract. We'll get into that probably later in the week or something, maybe tomorrow. And really, I don't think it matters that much, but they got to figure out the contract part. I mean, is it going to be a settlement? How much does he have left on it? Did they pay him the whole thing? Did they fire him with cause? All those questions still up for grabs. I want to get to a question that we were just talking about. Joe Cullen, you played for him. Joe Cullen, we like him. He's a good man. I think they're going to clean house around here. You would go to bat, though, for Joe Cullen to stay as a defensive coordinator. The problem is, Austin, you can't control that, right? Because the guy's going to come in here and be a head coach. He's going to bring whoever he wants in.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, yeah, I think Joe Cullen's probably going to be gone as well, which is a shame because I thought he did a pretty good job his first year, and I think he can only get better. You know, unfortunately, you know, I'm not trying to speak bad about the friendship of Joe Cullen and Urban Meyer, but, you know, he tied his wagon to a losing horse, if you will. Yeah. And now he's kind of stuck suffering the consequences. So, yeah, if it truly is done for Joe Cullen, I hope he gets another shot someplace, man, because it's been a very, very bleak season. But the one silver lining, I think the one shimmering thing you had was the scheme and what it was going to look like. I hope going forward you see another, at least, resemblance of what Joe Cullen brought to the table.
Well, by the way, I mean, Joe is going to get another job somewhere. The question will be a defensive coordinator, but he may have put enough on the resume to do that. He was a first-time NFL defensive coordinator. I think he's done a fantastic job. He's exceeded my expectations of the defense. Sure, haven't been unbelievable. They've been better than I thought. I think Joe has done a good job, and I think if they were to keep Joe in the personnel and the scheme, I think they can make their defense very good this offseason. Boom, just like that, with the pieces they have and the pieces they could add. We'll see if they do it. Sometimes it happens. Some people will vouch for Joe, I think. I think they like him around here, and who wouldn't? So we'll see what happens with Joe Cullen. But I think there's a good chance they clean house. Who will they bring in? Football at 5. We're talking about the next head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Give me some of the options. Who do you like? 904-362-9901. You can call in, jump in. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Rolls on right after this.
BetOnline.net has you covered all season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before as football season continues the march to the playoffs. BetOnline.net remains your number one spot for all the sports info, podcasts, and news this season. And it's not just football. BetOnline.net has up-to-the-minute info on pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, even live scores of games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline.net, where the game starts.
You don't have to visit Buffalo to get fresh, delicious, mouth-watering wings made to order. Just go to the Extreme Wings nearest you. Extreme Wings is where the locals have been going for the freshest, never-frozen, world-famous hot wings since 1999. Dozens of flavors to choose from. Full liquor bar, happy hour specials, state-of-the-art TVs on every wall. After the game, after work, for lunch, for dinner. Make it extreme. Check out their award-winning Pit Road Wings. Oh, they're so good. They are grilled to perfection with extremely secret seasoning. Looking for a family-friendly sports restaurant that can accommodate large parties? Well, look no further. You can take the entire team to Extreme Wings after the game, where all kids' meals are just $6.99. Come celebrate the grand opening of Extreme Wings' newest location. That's Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Extreme burgers, salads, wraps, and of course, world-famous Extreme Wings. Do what the locals do and make it extreme. Extreme Wings, newest location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, or visit a location near you.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 44th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, open 7 days a week in December.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com.
Wake Forest and Texas A&M face off in Jacksonville at the 77th Tax Slayer Gator Bowl game on New Year's Eve. Game day starts early with pregame brunches beginning at 9 a.m., a special tribute to healthcare heroes in the pregame show, and kickoff at 11 a.m. on Bill Gay grounds at TIAA Bank Field. Don't miss college football pageantry on display. It's all happening on New Year's Eve at the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Game tickets and hospitality packages start at $50 and are on sale at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Hey, it's Brent Marno. Check out Action Sports Jacks weekdays from 3 until 6 on ESPN 690.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. At least until next Tuesday, all 32 NFL teams will go into more intensive COVID-19 protocols. So far, the NFL is not planning any delays or postponements with the rise in positive tests. The Washington outbreak increases to 21 players today, 6 more Bears players, and all 3 coordinators are now in COVID-19 protocols. Tonight, the 9-4 Chiefs play the 8-5 Chargers in Inglewood. The search is on for the next Jaguars head coach after the firing of Urban Meyer. ESPN's Louis Riddick says the team needs to make the right hire for quarterback Trevor Lawrence.
That has to be, without a doubt, priority number 1 in terms of who Shad Khan interviews going forward. Making sure they have a plan to make sure that this young man reaches his potential. Because if you screw that up, I mean, man, you're not going to get many more opportunities like that.
Louis Riddick on Get Up. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Lions tight end TJ Hawkinson will miss the rest of the season after thumb surgery today. Hawkinson is the Lions' leading receiver this year.
Getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit is another reason banking with Capital One is one of the easiest decisions in the history of decisions. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Well, I think I want to get through this week. I'm going to call the plays this week, and then it's later in the week than it normally would be. So we're going to do status quo. We're going to keep everything the same this week, and then over the weekend, and we'll mull over some things, and you'll probably have some conversations.
Dale Bevel, I assume.
You better believe it.
Yep. Getting some interesting things come from the Jaguars press conference. We'll break that down a little later when Brent comes back here. He's shooting something for the TV side right now. But Shaq Griffin had a couple of things that I think warrant bringing up. Seeing a lot of people retweeting those. But I think we got somebody on the line right now. Casey, who do we got?
We got Steven.
We got Steven on the line, man. Steven, what's going on?
Hey, not too much. How are you doing, Austin?
I'm doing good, man. Heck of a day, obviously. But, hey, that's what you sign up for. You got to carry that weight. What's up with you?
Hey, not too much. Just enjoying my vacation.
Amen to that, man.
I wanted to get your opinion. I know it's a little early, but start looking at, replacement head coaches, candidates, and everything like that. And I want to get your opinion. My two top ones are Byron Leftwich and Kellen Moore from Cowboys. Now, there is a little underhanded reasoning behind it.
Okay, I'd love to hear it.
You have been a big spokesman about getting Chris Godwin here.
Yeah.
Who better to get him to Jacksonville than his offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
On the Dallas side, Kellen Moore, Michael Gallup, Cedric Wilson, very good wide receivers. Hey, Cowboys cannot afford anybody next year. Who better to get them to come over than their offensive coordinator?
Well, I wouldn't say that quite yet because we'll see what happens with Ezekiel Elliott, how they feel about him going forward, to maybe get him off the books. Not saying anything's going to happen, but I'm just saying keep an eye on that. No, I get what you're saying. Thanks a lot for calling in, man. So, Kellen Moore, Byron Leftwich, right? Those are the two. I start out the show by saying this. This organization has done everything you can imagine in terms of the realm of hiring coaches. You've hired the quiet old school guy with Mike Mularkey. You've hired the boisterous defensive coordinator type in Gus Bradley. You hired the more reserved guy with Doug Marrone, then you went with Tom Coughlin to kind of, match that kind of vibe. And that didn't work. And then you went with the ultimate outside-the-box thinking, the ultimate intrigue, the ultimate exciting, polarizing hire with Urban Meyer. And what have we learned so far, class? None of that has worked.
Mm-mm.
Now, the Urban Meyer, Casey, would you agree, was the most risky hire, right? To me, it was the ultimate boomer bust. And I mean, no, I was wrong in saying we want Urban Meyer here, but I also said it's the ultimate boomer bust because it's either going to be going really well or it's going to be a nightmare.
And
Didn't think it would be a nightmare this early on in the season, but we got Freddy Krueger hanging out in the shadows. Like that much of a nightmare, okay?
Pretty much.
So going forward, first of all, I think Kellen Moore is a risky one. Very young coach, has never actually been a head coach. Now, the guy can call up some good plays. Don't get me wrong. Maybe he has an influence to get Michael Gallup. Don't get me wrong. But I think in terms of making him your head guy, that's outside the box thinking. That's risk or reward. This team can't afford another risk or reward because what happens if Kellen Moore doesn't work out then, right? Now we're in the same boat again. I can see the headline saying Kellen Moore's too young and he can't handle these older vets in the locker room.
33
years. Hey, I'm older than Kellen Moore. You imagine me being a head coach of the NFL team right now?
Maybe you guys could do it together.
Maybe I'll coach the defense.
Yeah, you guys can, put it together.
Now we're talking. He's coached the offense. No, I mean, I'm not hating on Kellen Moore whatsoever. I think the guy's got a great football mind, and let's be honest, it's not about the age, right? Look at Sean McVay, look at Cliff Kingsbury. Age isn't everything. But I think bringing in Kellen Moore is the ultimate risk or maybe reward. You can't afford another one of those, all right? You had it with Urban Meyer, and it backfired. I think with Byron Leftwich, it's a little of the same when we talk about Kellen Moore. I think Byron Leftwich, obviously a former player here. There are ties here, so you like that. I think with Byron Leftwich, in terms of play calling, well, yeah, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are pretty good. They also have Tom Brady. Now, has Byron Leftwich ever been an NFL coach before? No, he hasn't. Does he have offensive coordinator experience? Yes. Has he worked with quarterbacks? Yes. But I still think a guy like Byron Leftwich, that's a little bit of a risk. Okay, that is once again a little outside the box thinking.
Is it outside the box?
Well, yeah, because my whole thing is like when we talk about guys like Kellen Moore or Byron Leftwich, like there's no head coaching experience to be had.
Yeah.
And that's what you need, I think, more than anything is building the culture. Not saying either of those guys can do it, but I'm just saying if you're going through your next hiring process, that has to be the number one thing. And as opposed to getting a sexier, exciting pick like you do with Urban Meyer, you can't afford to do that right now with Shad Khan. You got to play it safe. You got to play it close to the chest. And I think you go with just a guy who you know can get the job done, kind of like Ron Rivera was, a couple years ago.
Yeah, here's the deal. You mentioned Kellen Moore. I'm not a huge Kellen Moore. I think he's good. I don't know if I love him here yet. I do think there's a little bit of youth there, and I know youth has worked, and I'm kind of like that. I like that McVay kind of hire, the LaFleur kind of hire. I'm just not sure there's enough there yet for Kellen Moore. I hesitate there. Byron Leftwich makes me think. But two thoughts, and everybody will say, of course, it's been around Brady. I think that could be a good thing. Like, I think it helped Josh McDaniels being around Brady for all those years. I think he helped Tom Brady, too. I also think, though, Bruce Arians might have some say and a lot of say over there. But Leftwich has been around. He's played for a while in the league. He's been in the Pittsburgh organization. He's won a Super Bowl with Tampa. He's been around Arizona. I mean, he's seen this stuff a little bit. Here's my thought about Byron Leftwich that nobody is bringing up. Does he want to be in Jacksonville? He played here, and I didn't cover him. But everything that I hear, it wasn't a great experience in Jacksonville for him. And so I wonder if he has a little bit in the back of his mind, like, I didn't love it there. And again, I'm not trying to say that's what he thinks. I'm curious about that. But if you can be a head coach, right? But he might have some other options. And I wonder if Jacksonville is his first.
Well, but do you think like his experience as a player is going to affect him being a coach?
I know, but I mean, I don't listen, man. If you let's just say you played in just give me. Let's say you played in Chicago. You hated Chicago for some reason. Who hated Chicago, right?
Well,
but
I mean,
you hated Chicago.
I hated my experience and how it ended. Yes,
I know, but I'm saying you didn't. Yeah, you didn't like it. You didn't love even the place. It just didn't feel like a fit for you. And then ESPN 1000, I think they are in Chicago, says, "Hey, man, we want you to come back. We would love you to be a part of the show." You'd be like, "Yeah, I mean, Chicago's great. It's cool. It's a cool opportunity, but are you going to go?" Like, hey, listen, I'm not telling you he wouldn't come. I'm telling you, does it give it pause a little bit that it's not the highest one on his list, especially if he's got some other options? I don't know that. I just don't think people are asking that, and I am.
So are you saying if ESPN 1000 called me right now and offered me a job, I wouldn't take it?
No, you probably would.
Do you guys need a producer in this scenario?
Casey's
what the hell, Casey? I mean, what the hell?
Casey,
trying to bring you along here,
Casey.
Casey.
Hey, Casey. Cha-ching. Sure. I mean, Chicago's
no
a big market.
loyalty around
Hey, that's a big market now.
Hey, no loyalty. I was watching you guys on the Rich Jones show thinking, where's the family? Where's the team?
Casey, keep
I got Brian
baseball.
Middleton's number.
Hey,
Don't
can you imagine? Who's that? Who's that? Brian, never heard of the dude. Hey, can you imagine? Can you imagine talking two baseball teams?
Oh, I know.
Basketball team?
What a moment.
Football team?
Oh, man.
Soccer, if you want to throw that in there, too. Hey, should we call up Stuart Weber? Bring him over, too?
Darts.
Okay. Darts. Yeah, I'm sure they got darts there. Let's go. All right. I'm sorry, Brent. Is this thing still on? My bad. All right.
That's all right.
All right. Back to ESPN 690. All right.
I'm bringing in Noah Schlitzup. What's up, Noah?
Hey, man. Can you even get a W-9 yet? Because you're like 10 years old. That doesn't work like that. How you going to pay taxes when you can't even work yet? You know?
We'll make it work.
Okay. Brent's going to get audited real quick.
All right. Who's next on your list?
So that was actually one of our callers' list. That was Mike's.
Steven.
No, I'm sorry, Steven's list. So because he wanted Kellen Moore here because of Michael Gallup, and then he wanted Byron Leftwich because of Chris Godwin. Of easier ways to
work that way.
Yeah, I mean it could help,
it's a
but
good
it wouldn't.
Thought,
yeah.
but it doesn't work that way. I mean,
no, I mean I think you have to take a long, hard look at Josh McDaniels if he's interested in leaving New England. But as me and Casey have been talking about, do you really want to leave New England? You seem to be having a pretty good situation right now.
It's time, man. It's either, here's what he has to. Well, he doesn't have to. First of all, there are some people going to stay away from him. One, because they might not think he's going to be a great head coach because the tree of the Patriots isn't great. Two, because of the Indianapolis situation. And three, maybe he doesn't want to go because he's the next guy. But Belichick doesn't seem like he's going anywhere in the next handful of years. Do you agree? Do you think he's getting out the next 2 years?
I mean, he doesn't give that vibe, but who knows, man? It's Bill Belichick. The guy is capable of anything.
Okay, but let's just say he stays for another 3, 4, 5 years.
Which you very well
now, well, now all of a sudden Josh McDaniels might miss an opportunity. Maybe they're not as good, or maybe it's not as hot a name, and maybe he's not going to get the Patriots job, or he has to wait longer than he wants. So I think the time is now for McDaniels, if he gets an opportunity like this to go work with a guy like Trevor Lawrence. I think this would be appealing to him. I do. I think it would. The question is, are you enamored with Josh McDaniels, or are you like, oh, it's Belichick. Oh, it didn't go well in Denver. He'll pick Tebow. He did this. I mean, is the second time go around better?
I mean, don't Casey.
QB coach.
Gonna need you to go and turn that mic off real quick, because if you bring up, no, I'm just kidding, man. Dude, don't let me talk you out of it, man. Do what you want to do. But
gosh, I mean, don't be so soft, Casey.
Okay, I'm not gonna be
soft. It's a glass partition.
Hey, real quick though, can you imagine if the Jaguars get Josh McDaniels, and by the way, from Barberton, Ohio.
Yep.
Brett Martineau the first week goes to Barberton, Ohio, hangs out with Josh McDaniels' teachers, maybe hangs out with some of his best friends, check out this city a little bit, does a week remote. I'm upset because now Brent can't do the show on ESPN 690, but that's okay. We got ESPN 1000 in the back pocket just waiting to get unleashed. But don't worry about that. But can you imagine a week later, Josh McDaniels says, nah, Jacksonville, we're all good. State of New England. And all that footage, all that gas money, all those resources go to waste, and Brent's left with a story that nobody cares about.
I'm pretty sure fifth floor Kill Hefner at Ashland University, there's a soccer player from Barberton, Ohio. At the very least, maybe I'll have lunch with them.
Sounds like a nice little lunch day. I got you. But I'll say this about Josh McDaniels. Was in Denver, didn't work out. You bought in the Tim Tebow hype. Now you went to the playoffs. You had a playoff win with him. I get all that. It ended up just not working out. You go to New England, you see how they do things there, and as an offensive coordinator, you have massive success. I like the fact that McDaniels has been a former head coach. I like the fact that McDaniels has at least been in that Patriots system. Now, here's the thing about the Patriots system. I think when you hire defensive coordinators, I think that has, that's Bill Belichick all day, right? Like, you can sit here and get Matt Patricia, but, was he making the calls, or was it still Bill Belichick's show? Now, you can say Bill O'Brien didn't have that much success in Houston. I'll tell you, you're absolutely right. But I think
had some, though.
Yeah,
he had some.
But I think you have more input. You have more reign on the Patriots' offensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
so I think Josh McDaniels' influence is a lot more on the Patriots' offense than, say, I think it's Belichick's son running it now on defense than, it is on defense. So I like that as well. So from culture, from experience, from, the head coaching job and before, I think it checks a lot of the right boxes as a safe hire for Shad Khan.
Safe. That's interesting that you say it's safe. I will say this. Give me two things about Josh McDaniels. One, there are conflicting reports, if you go back on the Tom Coughlin, Doug Marrone hire, that around that time they were hot on the Josh McDaniels front. So, McDaniels might have been like the other guy if the Tom and all that stuff didn't work out. Now, you believe what you believe, but it was certainly a story back then, I remember, hearing through the grapevine. The thing I will say about McDaniels, forget about all the stuff he did with Brady, and you can't forget about it, I understand. He probably learned a lot, and he helped a lot. I think what he's doing with Mac Jones is the most impressive thing, what he's done in his career. I think what they've done with Mac Jones and the measured growth, development, staying with yourself. And, of course, it's easy to do with a run game and a defense. It's easier. I get it. But I think he's doing a fantastic job, so much so that I think this might be his most brilliant bullet point on his resume so far. So I do like that about Josh McDaniels. All right, where else are we going?
Man, obviously you got Bieniemy.
Yeah. Now, listen, did you see Schefter? Did you watch Schefter's tweet earlier?
I did not.
That Bieniemy was in, the top 5 the last go-around.
Okay.
Raheem Morris was mentioned as well. Robert Saleh, of course, and Arthur Smith. Thank goodness it wasn't Arthur Smith. But
man, Arthur Smith just denier over here.
They got 6 wins.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Also put Cordell Patterson running back. Seems to be working out pretty well for him.
Yeah,
it did work.
Listen,
intriguing offense.
He might be great. It's just something bothers me about Arthur Smith. I don't know what. I don't like. All right, Eric Bieniemy. I could seriously see this be the guy.
Sure.
I could see this be number 1 on Shad Khan's list. How about you?
I could definitely see that as well. Now, no NFL head coaching experience. I get that. But a lot of experience under a coach that I respect a lot. And in terms of coaching trees, if you want to compare the Andy Reid coaching tree to the Bill Belichick coaching tree, well, say no more because it's not even close, right? Andy Reid by a landslide. So I like Bieniemy. I like the fact that he's an offensive-minded guy. I like the fact that he's accustomed to working with great quarterbacks. So, yes, I think, once again, in terms of the safe pick, in terms of checking all the boxes, I think Bieniemy is one of those guys as well.
Yeah, and I agree with what you said there, and I know you're a big Andy Reid guy. So, again, I mean, how much does Bieniemy do it? How much does Reid? It's a collaborative effort. Is it time? Why doesn't he have a job already? 2 cycles? I will tell you this. There is no doubt in my mind that if the Chiefs continue to do well, which it looks like they're headed there in the playoffs and everything else, and their offense is like, what, second in the league, I think in yards at the very least, that the NFL almost has to, like, force somebody to hire this guy, don't they? I know
you'd hope so,
but
yeah.
Don't you think? I mean, somebody's got to hire this guy this cycle.
Well, and especially because it's one thing, like with Dabble in Buffalo, you can kind of have buyer's remorse now because it's like, well, how good is that Buffalo offense? You know, Kansas City, I get it. They've been kind of up and down this season, but their offense is still playing at a very elite level. You know, so you're still making all the right play calls. So I absolutely agree. I think this go-around will be the go-around that Bieniemy gets a job at least someplace.
Listen, he's good. He can be very good on the offense. He's learned a lot from Andy Reid. The question you have with all these guys is, can they lead if they haven't done it before? And it's a fair question. Just because you can call plays doesn't mean you can lead. But that's the risk you take. That's part of hiring a coach. That's why you swing and miss quite a bit. And that's why the stats kind of say you swing and miss quite a bit. All right, let's continue on. Let's roll through this. What time is it here? We got a couple more minutes? Yeah, we do. Doug Peterson. I think this guy's really interesting. Second go-around. What a freaking Super Bowl. He had Carson Wentz, Nick Foles playing some of their best football of their careers. Actually, you can say the best football of their career. Andy Reid tree for you. And I think I said this the other day, but I really like that. I always liked about Peterson's team. I wasn't a huge fan of Peterson from the outside looking in. Don't know him. But wasn't a huge fan of Peterson from the outside looking in. Yet I did appreciate the fact that I thought in mid-November into December, his team seemed to play the best football, Austin.
2 things with Doug Peterson. 2 red flags, I would say. But no, I think Doug Peterson, in terms of the positives, you like what you see there, right? Former quarterback, works with the quarterback, offensive guru, some could call him, Super Bowl champion. A lot to like there with Doug Peterson. The 2 things, though, that you have to take into consideration. It went sour in Philadelphia really quick. One of the reasons why it went sour is because him and the quarterback did not get along. The other reason, because he had a problem with management. Right? There was an ego to Doug Peterson.
Yeah, there is that, I think.
I think if you were Urban Meyer and you hired Doug Peterson the last go-around, you say, hey, Doug Peterson, here's the keys, do whatever you want to do. Fantastic, right? You'd probably have 0 issues. But now you're under a situation where the last guy you handed the keys to, well, you saw what happened. So now you have to be a little more leery of that. You kind of have to be a little more hands-on, I would say, and making sure things are turning in the right direction. I wonder if that's going to rub Doug Peterson the wrong way or not. And obviously the relationship with Trevor Lawrence, what is that going to be like as well?
Yeah, fair enough. But I think the guy's got a Super Bowl and he's not coaching.
No, for sure. So does Gruden.
But, well, okay, but now we know the reasons.
Okay,
and by the way, I think it's fair to ask what are the reasons, right?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah, what are the reasons?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like anything like the Gruden stuff.
No,
right?
not at all. No, I'm just saying, the speculation out of Philly was the fact that Doug Peterson didn't get along with the front office and didn't get along with Carson Wentz.
All right, let's roll through a couple other guys. We could do this all day, but I think there's this next class which might make the most sense and kind of fit into your couple of years ago chatter about Ron Rivera. Jim Caldwell, 66. He's been out of it a little bit. Wow, there you go. I'll tell you, Jim Caldwell, his resume, you talk about Peterson winning the Super Bowl and being out of it, the resume for Caldwell and that he's not a coach is like asinine.
Yeah.
I mean, what he did in Detroit alone should be given like every trophy possible. What he did in like 3 out of 4 years. It's amazing. I mean, if you say a guy goes 11-5, I think it was like 7-9, 9-7, 9-7, and you're like, well, that's okay.
That's correct.
And then you say he did it in Detroit. You're like, oh, my gosh, this is freaking Vince Lombardi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How much would you take 11-5, 7-9, 9-7, 9-7 over the next 4 years in Jacksonville?
Yeah, I mean, I think you talk about a guy who probably out of the guys that we named has the most head coaching experience of all. I believe so. I'm not sure what Doug Peterson has, but I think he has the most head coaching experience of all of those guys. And you're talking about a guy who's had winning, culture building, and has also worked with great young quarterbacks like Peyton Manning. So I think there's a lot to like there from Jim Caldwell.
Is there so much a lot to like with the Peyton Manning thing that Trevor Lawrence could potentially have a tie in there because he talks to Manning? And could it be that deep of a relationship where maybe there's a, hey, you'd really like this guy and benefit from this guy. Hey, Shad, I got a guy. Can you at least check this guy out?
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely warrants the consideration because you saw what he was able to do with Manning. I mean, literally comes in, assistant head coach, quarterbacks coach, and then, does such a great job that takes over as the head coach. And it's very rare, and I get it, like, the whole title assistant head coach was a thing too, but name how many quarterback coaches get elevated from their job and their position to the head coach, right? Usually it goes quarterbacks coach to coordinator to head coach. Well, not Caldwell. So, yeah, that says a lot about what this guy can bring in terms of developing a quarterback, number one, but also, culture building, number two, which is what you want. I think in terms of the safe plays, I think you're talking about Josh McDaniels and Jim Caldwell as the safest plays that you can have right now if you're Shad Khan. And I've been a big proponent of this. I think you try to go with the boomer bust pick with Urban Meyer. It blew up in your face. You got to go a little more of the safe route this time around.
Yeah, stability route, no doubt about it. I think that's a possibility. By the way, Marvin Lewis, any chance he comes back, does it do anything for you? I remember circling his name last year and was like, you know what? I think we take that in Jacksonville. I know his playoff success wasn't there, so swinging for the fences, but it isn't there. But this guy knows how to win and get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's a steady guy, right? He's a steady, good man.
He's a steady, good man. You kind of know what you're getting. Now, once again, not the sexiest hiring, but you're not into that right now. The only concerns I have, and I forgot, what would Marvin Lewis's last year be, Brent? You know off the top of your head, or like a good idea?
I don't. Probably 4 years ago.
Okay, 4 years
2018.
ago. 2018. So I think that's right around Caldwell, too. Caldwell might have went to 19 because he was with the Dolphins last, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, whatever the case may be, I feel like you're not out of the game so much where it's kind of passed you by. But there could be an acclimation period in terms of, all right, the game has changed a little bit. Locker rooms have changed a little bit. And if you do go with a guy like Caldwell or a guy like Marvin Lewis, who are, once again, I think are safe bets, but also got to ask the question, can these guys relate to the modern era NFL player? Because that's what you need more than anything, Brent, right?
Yeah.
You need a coach who isn't going to cause drama. You need a coach who can relate to his players and bring out the best of his players.
Well, Marvin Lewis is connected with the college game the last couple of years.
Okay.
So it's not like he completely left it. Listen, not going to fire you up, not going to get a lot of fire in your belly, but I'm not sure we need that to your point around here right now. Can you get me 8 or 9 wins a year for the next few? Can you get me in the hunt in mid-December?
Yeah.
And I know that doesn't seem like, Brent, you should shoot for the stars. Well, you know what? I'm going to shoot halfway there first.
No, we literally shot for the stars and somehow landed up in the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. So I don't know how that happened.
Well, that's a very good segue. Let's get Captain Rick Riles on right now for the Sportsman Fishing Report. And, you got to go fishing offshore before you can go deep sea fishing. I have no idea if that even made sense, but that's the best I can do.
Right. You don't start out blue marlin fishing. That's right. You better learn how to catch a mackerel first. You know what the saddest part is to me, Brent? Seriously, there is not one coach we've had in the 25 years of our existence that I want back. Did you realize how sad that is?
Well, you wouldn't take first go around Tom Coughlin?
Yeah, maybe, but not with today's players.
Yeah.
You know, I would with Mark Brunell and Tony Baselli, but we don't have those guys anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, no. With today's players, there's not one coach that I want back, and please don't bring back Doug Marrone. I can't stand that anymore. I'm not like you. I want young and hot shot, and that seems to be the trend now. I want the hot 30-year-old.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yep, we'll
careful what you say there, Captain Rick.
Yeah, I know that. That didn't sound right after it came out. God, 30-year-old.
Anyway, back to what I'm supposed to be talking about. The ocean was closed again today. It opens for the big boats tomorrow. They're gonna open the gates just a little bit and let a couple of 50-footers sneak out to see what the ocean's like, and we'll find out. But the wind starting to back off considerably today. It was much lighter, and really expected great inshore fishing today. They had it down in St. Augustine. Captain Robert Johnson had a fine day. Said he probably released 30 reds, kept his 4 for his passengers. David Voorhees up this way said, nope, no deal. The water was crystal clear. You could see the reds easily. You could throw at them till your arms fell off, and you couldn't get them to bite. And then he dropped back, fished in some deep holes, and finally limited out his people. But it was not as easy a day as what yesterday was. I don't think anything's going to change much inshore over the next couple of days. I think the trout bite should turn back on as the water clears, and probably a very good whiting bite in the surf. We'll find out more about the blue water trolling when the big boats come home tomorrow night. But you can count on us to give you the report for it. Brought to you each and every day by CSS Landscaping. They're paying top dollar for top landscapers, and Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing.
Captain Rick, appreciate it. Thanks for the line of the day.
Thank you, Brent.
All right, Captain Rick Riles, Florida Sports and Fishing Report. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690 each and every day. And on Saturday morning, 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. on ESPN 690. All right, listen, we're going to talk a lot about future coaches. I want to talk a little bit about Shad Khan before we end today. We're going to have ample time to continue to dissect everything. But I do want to get to Shad Khan from I got it right this time to now where does he go? And I want your thoughts on this, Austin, as a guy who played for ownership and different ownership, including Shad Khan at one time. We're live at String Sports Brewery. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Ric Flair's going to be here tonight, by the way. 7 o'clock, Jaguars All Access. Come on out, see Ric Flair, the wrestling great. And you can give us 2 claps in a Ric Flair as we go to break.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Tonight, we are tracking an early shower with partly cloudy skies. Areas of fog can develop into Friday morning with temperatures in the upper 50s. Friday, a partly sunny day and warm with highs in the low 80s. I'm meteorologist Sola Sepedjic, and that's your Action News Jax First Alert Forecast.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where the anniversary sale's been extended through Christmas Eve. Save up to 41% store-wide.
Know what time it is? It's time to get moving. Cora Physical Therapy has opened a new state-of-the-art clinic in Kingsland on Boone and Haddock, and will be opening another one soon in Brunswick. With Cora, you have access to licensed, passionate clinicians, only the most innovative equipment, and life-changing therapies. Cora is all about treating everyone right now. It's your move. Visit CoraPhysicalTherapy.com for a free screening. No physician's referral required. Same-day appointments available.
Wake Forest and Texas A&M face off in Jacksonville at the 77th Tax Slayer Gator Bowl game on New Year's Eve. Game day starts early with pregame brunches beginning at 9 a.m. A special tribute to healthcare heroes in the pregame show. And kickoff at 11 a.m. on Bill Gay grounds at TIAA Bank Field. Don't miss college football pageantry on display. It's all happening on New Year's Eve at the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Game tickets and hospitality packages start at $50 and are on sale at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country, Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com.
Ryan Harris here with a preview of the Thursday night football game on Westwood One. Coming up, we have a great game from Los Angeles when Justin Herbert and the Chargers take on Patrick Mahomes and the red-hot Kansas City Chiefs. The 8-5 Chargers won the first meeting back in Week 3 and would take control of the division with a primetime win. Herbert said last week that their recent success has the team fired up for the game.
A lot of the guys are excited, and it's a great opportunity for us to play here again in our home stadium, and it's a really tough team, and so it's going to be a quick turnaround, but we got to watch the film and get better and get ready for those guys.
At 9-4, Kansas City is on an impressive 6-game win streak and allowing only 17 or fewer points per game in that stretch. Join Spiro Dees and myself for the Chiefs at the Chargers on Thursday Night Football.
Get ready for the game with more details and preview at WestwoodOneSports.com. And remember to listen for the NFL right here all season long.
Napa know-how.
Right now, a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil is only $19.99. It's the hottest deal of the year for the coldest time of the year. So if you're in your car right now, there's no need to turn on the heat. I'm about to read this sizzler again. That's Napa full synthetic for a hot $19.99. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating locations, does not include taxes and fees. Advertised sale price not available in some states. Offer ends 12/31/21.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Before the long road trip, before the big game, before the morning workout, start with 5-Hour Energy. It fixes tired fast and helps you feel alert, energized, and ready to tackle whatever's on your agenda. Even
Hey babe, the sink is clogged.
the weekend honey-do list. 5-Hour Energy. It's the one when you gotta get stuff done. Pick up some today. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
For the ones who are always in the know.
Delivery confirmed.
For the ones who keep things running. For the innovators and the problem solvers. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, experienced staff at local branches, and free access to experts to help answer your toughest questions. So whatever challenge you face, we have the knowledge and products to help. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Shacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Hey, it's the holiday season, of course. Holiday season is here, right? I mean, it's arrived. You already got your decorations up, and you probably had to get them out of the garage, and cleaning up that garage like, my goodness, our garage is a mess. Well, that's what we did about 6 months ago. And then we gave Easy Garage Solutions a call. You can look them up, easygaragesolutions.com. But you can raise the boxes and bins. You can elevate them, get them off the floor. You can get monkey bar technology. The only place you can get monkey bar technology is at Easy Garage Solutions. It'll hold up to 1,000 pounds. The bikes, lawn equipment, the beach equipment, anything else you want to hang, and then you create more floor space. So go do that. You can get your cars in the garage if you want to try that, or use it for a different purpose, but make sure you clean up that garage and get the most out of it. EasyGarageSolutions.com. Easy Garage Solutions. It's that easy.
Hey, what's up? It's Austin Lane. Check out Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 or ESPN690.com.
Welcome back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz. Big day in Jacksonville, obviously, right? The firing of Urban Meyer. It happened a little after midnight last night, and we've been talking about it nonstop on all the different platforms. CBS 47, Fox 30, ESPN 690, 95.1, 104.5, social media, spaces on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Oh, my gosh, there's so many places. But we're covering them all with Casey Kurtz, Austin Lane, Brent Martineau, Stuart Weber, Marcel Robinson, and everyone. This is my favorite. I'm like the TV geek in me. Like, I love I'm sorry, not the TV geek, but the media geek in me.
Okay.
Like, loves this day.
Okay.
And I was telling Rich Jones this earlier. It's like, because you get to, it's cool. We have, with TV stations downstairs on one side of the building, you walk upstairs, you got the radio stations. And obviously, you can put the social media anywhere. And basically, since midnight last night, we've been doing something, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
The Action Sports Jacks family of networks.
Yeah.
And so I like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're into people hearing you 24 hours a day. I like it.
I am tired of talking. I'm tired of hearing myself talk. I will say that.
Okay.
And so I apologize for those who have really paid attention to everything. That's not the intention. But there's been a lot of talking today.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But it's a big day. I mean, listen, I don't live for days that coaches get fired. I can tell you that. But it's no doubt a monumental day once again. It didn't work. It just didn't work in Jacksonville. And that brings me to Shad Khan. There's no bias in Shad Khan for me. I've covered him since the day he bought the team, and I believe in kind of his vision a bit. Like, I believe he has a vision. I believe he really loves Jacksonville, and I told you this yesterday, the day before. If you asked the 20-something people that were with him Monday, I don't think there's a person that would disagree with me. And I think they would say he loves Jacksonville. He wants to win. He's going to do anything he can do to win. He's frustrated by the fact that he hasn't won. Just hasn't pushed the right buttons. And listen, that's reasonable criticism. I'm not here to defend him. I'm just saying I think there's good intentions in the guy. And you can disagree, and we can talk the record, and it is what it is. I can't defend that. But I thought this was a big moment for him. And you can tell me if you agree or not, and you don't have to by any means. But it obviously looks bad on the outset for him to say, we know he coveted him, Urban Meyer, and he believed in it, and he chased it, and he got it, and I applauded it. And then he said, I finally got it right. Sometimes you got to be careful what you say. I finally got it right. And then 11 months later, boom, it's worse than it was. It hasn't worked. It was terrible. It was what some people are calling the worst coaching stint in NFL history. As Bobby Petrino might say, hold my beer there. But you get the point of the conversation. And so it looks like, and again, criticism can come, that it's a major failure. But here's where I give him credit, Austin, and here's where I think it shows how much he wants to win and get it right. And also he shows how much he's learned because he values that number one overall pick, that quarterback that we heard from a little earlier and we talked about a little earlier. And he values that guy, and he knows he's smart enough to value that guy more than the head coach because he pulled the plug on it. And again, easy from the outside to pull the plug on it. There are a lot of signs, but I think less easy to pull the plug on it if you're the guy writing the checks, if you're the guy that coveted him, if you're the guy that signed him up, if you're the guy that said, I got it right. Naturally, we would, if we made that hire in any walk of life, we'd like, let's see if this works out a little longer. I want to be proven right. We want to be proven right about decisions we make. And he pulled the plug on it, man. I think that says something. And again, people are going to sit here and listen to me and say, "Oh, it was easy, Brent. Everybody would have made the call."
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think so. Well, and maybe you're right. Maybe Urban Meyer did make this an easier decision.
Yeah.
All right? I agree with that. He made it an easier decision. But it's not his M.O., and I think he showed last night with this swift move that we ain't putting up with this. I don't want my organization embarrassed. This isn't working. I don't care how much money I have to eat. We're going to get it right. I want to win. I think it showed those things.
To me, it couldn't have been easy for Shad Khan because this was your guy. You spent so much time, energy, and resources to get this guy. And when you got him, you were happy. You celebrated and you said that you finally got it right. From there, it went downhill and it became just an absolute mess. From two sides of the business that he runs, being the Jacksonville Jaguars, being the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. From the business side of things, well, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much money they're bringing in terms of season tickets and all that stuff. But from an optics standpoint in terms of business, the company had never been lower. You're the laughingstock of the NFL. Yes, you're losing, but you're also the worst optics probably of any professional sports team right now. So that's a bad look. So, yeah, you would think that it was only going to get worse before it got better. So you had to cut ties. You had to let things go because who knows where it goes from Josh Lambo getting kicked. How much other stuff was going to come out. So I don't think it was a hard decision from the business standpoint if I'm Shad Khan saying, well, I got to cut the cord, man. This team can only go through so much. This city can only be embarrassed so much. From the football side of things, because it's two sides. There's business, and then there's the on-the-field productivity and winning. Well, obviously you haven't had a lot of winning here if you're Shad Khan, right? But I like to think that he at least gets it right in terms of he takes the players' input into mind. I would hope before Urban Meyer got let go, he got Trevor Lawrence's opinion. He got Josh Allen's opinion, Miles Jack's opinion. And you know what? If he did, which I think he did, those opinions probably weren't too bright for Urban Meyer. They probably weren't too endorsing for Urban Meyer. So from the opinions of players, what you have to listen to, because you can have the best coach in the world. You can have the best culture setter in the world. But if the players aren't buying in, if the players are fed up, you aren't going to win anything. So the fact that Shad Khan, I think, talked to the players, got their vibe of everything and said, you know what? He's lost this locker room. These guys don't want to play for him. That's another obvious decision to let somebody go. So, yeah, I'll celebrate Shad Khan because he bit the bullet. He spent the money. He did what he had to do to get rid of Urban Meyer. But at the same time, to me, it was the only decision if you want to be successful from the business standpoint or if you want to be successful from the on-the-field performance standpoint.
Yeah, fair point. Now it becomes another hefty decision for Shad Khan. Hey, let's get Bruce in real quick. Bruce, I appreciate you hanging on. Sorry, we got rocking and rolling a few times and left you hanging. What's happening here on a crazy Thursday in Jacksonville?
Gentlemen. Season ticket holder for 14 years. Boy, it's been rough. I thank you so much for having your show. It's the best one on in Jacksonville by far. Thank you.
No, man, thank you, man. We appreciate you listening. You're the reason why we do this, so thank you.
You know, Champ, how's it feel to be the champ? Hey, Champ, I got to ask you earlier, you said something about iPods, and hey, I'm not 55. I'm driving down the road in my truck, and I'm thinking, I'm 55. What's wrong with me? But anyway, as a math teacher, I can tell you, having taught different groups, I don't care how good of a math teacher you are. If you don't have good students, you're going to have a hard time on these state tests. And I'm wondering, is the new coach going to be able to pick a new GM, or how is it? I mean, what do you guys think should happen with that? Because in my view, for whatever it's worth, I mean, our player acquisition and retention of good players is what kills us. I mean, I don't care who the coach is. If we got an offensive line that can't block and whatever, I mean, it doesn't really matter. So that's what I'm curious what you all think.
Well, Bruce, I appreciate it. Thanks for the call, man, and drive safe. Happy holidays. I think it's a great question, and I got to eat more crow here, right? Because I like the coach-centric hire by Shad Khan. But I think we have to evaluate this, and maybe they should go back to the old way, Austin, and just hire a GM and let the GM pick the coach. I don't know. Like, he's tried every different way. I like the coach-centric, and it just blew up. Look what just happened. So I don't know if you can do it that way. I will say this. You can't plug Urban Meyer and a Trent Baalke in together. Stop trying to fit a puzzle piece together. Go get two people, kind of like the Caldwell-Bradley early years. Again, that might be a bad example because it didn't work, but you could tell they got along and they were on the same page. I'm for that, however you make it happen.
Yeah, and I'm the exact same way. There needs to be some sort of chemistry. There has to be some sort of simpatico in terms of how you approach these next hirings. Assuming that Baalke's going to be gone as well, and you got to start from scratch. Yeah, like, I'm not asking for it to be like a buddy cop movie where these guys are best friends, but you need to have a relationship, okay? And there needs to be a chain of command set out. I don't know how much Baalke had influence on this NFL draft. I really don't. You know, these guys that you don't really see a lot of these guys in the field right now because they're on the bench. But, you know, some of these players that you've seen drafted, were those Urban Meyer guys or those bulky guys? They could have been Urban Meyer guys because, you know, he had the keys. You can't do that again. There has to be the GM doing GM things, and there's got to be the head coach doing head coach things. And until proven different, that's the way things got to be. So, yes, there's got to be a relationship. Yes, there's got to be a chain of command. And, no, you got to stop giving the keys out and saying, hey, you run this and he's going to help you out. No, there has to be boundaries set up and communication set up.
Yeah, communication's important. I thought that would be so much better, Austin, and it wasn't. Bruce, really good question, and I think something we'll probably expand upon more in how they set up the structure of this football team going forward, probably for the next couple of days and next few weeks as well. All right, we're live at String Sports Brewery. Ric Flair's going to be here today. By the way, I want to let you know, Action Sports Jack's Dream18.com. I want to tell you about its stocking stuffer, the Dream 18 card for 2022. More valuable than ever before, just $69. Go buy it. Go check it out. Action Sports Jack's Dream18.com. You're looking for a gift? It's a good one. And you get some discounted golf. We added the yards to the portfolio as well this year. And by the way, golf rates are going to be as high as they've been in a while in 2022, so the discounts will really make a difference. Action Sports Jack's Dream18.com. We'll be back from String Sports Brewery. Put a bow on a wild day in Jacksonville here on ESPN 690 and take a quick peek at that Thursday night football game coming up on Fox 30.
Whether you're a rock-solid hard athlete or a hardcore fan, in Little League, a pro, or a weekend warrior, Cora Physical Therapy is here to help you reach your goals. We're happy to announce that Cora is now opening Kingsland on Boone and Haddock, and we're coming soon to Brunswick. With a total of 17 clinics in the Jacksonville region, there's sure to be one near your home or work. Call or come in today for a free screening. No physician's referral needed. CoraPhysicalTherapy.com. Treating everyone right.
You don't have to visit Buffalo to get fresh, delicious, mouth-watering wings made to order. Just go to the Extreme Wings nearest you. Extreme Wings is where the locals have been going for the freshest, never-frozen, world-famous hot wings since 1999. Dozens of flavors to choose from. Full liquor bar, happy hour specials, state-of-the-art TVs on every wall. After the game, after work, for lunch, for dinner. Make it extreme. Check out their award-winning Pit Road wings. Oh, they're so good. They are grilled to perfection with extremely secret seasoning. Looking for a family-friendly sports restaurant that can accommodate large parties? Well, look no further. You can take the entire team to Extreme Wings after the game, where all kids' meals are just $6.99. Come celebrate the grand opening of Extreme Wings' newest location. That's Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jack's. Extreme burgers, salads, wraps, and of course, world-famous Extreme Wings. Do what the locals do and make it extreme. Extreme Wings' newest location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jack's, or visit a location near you.
Men, when you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE and those little blue pills haven't worked, here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Rabinski. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom-blended medications. Men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Call 904-664-8217. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call 904-664-8217.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7, and we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Hey, Bruiser, you ready to do the old holiday shopping routine?
Yeah, I got all the houses picked out.
Alrighty.
Hey, you know, I almost feel sorry for these folks.
Don't go soft on me now. That's why they pay insurance.
Okay, so you promise those kids will just lose their bikes for a little while?
Yeah, I promise. Whatever.
All right, then let's sing our favorite holiday song.
Yeah. We're making our list, checking it twice.
Looking for houses with things that are nice. Bruiser and Browser are coming to town. We're filling our truck, we won't leave much.
Avoiding those houses at God's safe touch.
Bruiser and Browser are coming to town.
Crime does increase during the holidays. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, owner of Safe Touch Security Systems. Our new Safe Touch two-way communicator saves lives and prevents property loss every day. Our average response time is an incredible 14 seconds. Nobody can match our servers or our price. You have my guarantee on it.
Call SafeTouch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Tobacco-Free Florida has many free ways to help you quit nicotine. From free 2-week starter kits of quit aids to free cessation services like Phone Quit and Group Quit. We're even trying out new motivational tactics.
You're the greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter of all.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Khan is always has a great feel for what's going on, and he's always had a lot of conversations with me, and we've talked a lot about a lot of different things. Obviously, of course, about what's been going on and the things that have come up, and naturally that comes up, and we had talks about it. And he's done a great job of having a pulse in the team and feeling out what's going on, and also communicating with players and whoever else. I know he does a great job of that. So yeah, we've had a lot of conversations.
I like to hear that.
Brent. Oh, break it down. How good was that
one? I like
one?
to hear that.
How good was that?
Oh, come
press
on.
Conference?
You should like to hear that. Shad Khan's talking to his quarterback, right?
Yeah,
you want communication? There you got it.
Yes.
By the way, I was right yesterday when I told you, because he confirmed this, that Trevor Lawrence, there was like a wives and players party on the Kismet on Tuesday. And so that was the last time he talked to Shad Khan. He said he didn't talk to him yesterday about everything. And once again, if you missed it, Trevor Lawrence basically woke up to the news. So it's not like he was in the, know about what was about to happen. The crazy thing about it, and I heard this yesterday, and I think this was verified today. I think Mark Long verified it with Darrell Bevel, is that Urban Meyer left the facility at 4:30 yesterday, which on a Wednesday, which we're leaving the facility at 4:30 any day but a Friday is kind of odd, I think.
Yeah.
And so that was a little bit surprising. Maybe he knew something earlier in the day. Hey, let's get to the swoop minute right now.
Real quick. So you said the players and wives were all in the Kismet?
Yeah.
All of them?
Well, I don't.
It was a lot of them.
Yeah, I heard it was like a wives' luncheon, so I think it was a lot of the players, yeah.
Are Casey and I the only people in this town that work with the Jaguars that have not been invited on that yacht yet?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, listen, I've already told you
good.
guys.
Hey, Casey.
I didn't even get invited to the morning show.
Hey, Casey. Hey, it's all good, Casey. You know what I'm going to do? I know some connects. You and I are reaching out. We're going to get a fishing boat. It's going to be – oh, by the way, and Rich Jones is coming too because Rich Jones didn't get invited, and he's one of the ride or dies. We're getting Rich Jones too, Garth Brooks. We're getting Phil Mickelson, Larry Bird. We're going on a fishing trip. Just the boys. No, Brent, you can't come. Sorry, man. Got a full boat. Hey, Brian, I see in the back too. Brian, you can come. You're part of this team. He can come too. Sorry, Brent. Go on with the swoop minute.
By the way, the boat I ride on doesn't get full.
I'm done.
I would just leave. I'd get up and walk out.
Hey, you think ESP 1000's got their own yacht?
They're going to once we get on the air.
Should I go and give him a call and see what's up?
Ice cutter?
Hey, should I go, hey? Navy Pier's in play. I'm just saying. Navy Pier's over there. Some water.
All right, I got to give you this swoop minute. Men's basketball for University of North Florida Ospreys. They beat Austin Peay on Sunday, 91-84. That's for you, Murray State.
I know.
They beat
Flush
Austin
the P, as Murray State fans would say. Flush the P.
UNF improves to 3-0 at home this year. Jarius Hicklin, 15 points off the bench, earning newcomer of the week. He was averaging. They host Trinity Baptist Saturday. I'll be there. I'll have the call on ESPN+. Women's basketball improved to 5-0 at home after defeating Bethune-Cookman 60-47 Sunday. They blocked 10 shots. They're really good on the interior. Back in action December 21st at Miami. UNFOspreys.com for more information, how you can get tickets, news, schedules, results, the rest of it. University of North Florida Ospreys. That's your swoop minute. Whew, what a day, right?
Heck of a day, man. Heck of a day.
You know what? For the last 4 days and really for the last couple of weeks, I woke up and I said, what am I going to see on my phone? Well, actually, I didn't wake up this morning. I never went to bed. But I woke up and say, what am I going to see on my phone?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's it going to be next?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that feeling tomorrow. It's going to be a pretty normal Friday.
Yeah, man, tomorrow – you forget tomorrow's Friday, too.
I know.
That's a good point.
It's crazy.
Yeah, a couple times you said later in the week we're going to break something down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Sorry about that.
Maybe next week.
Real quick, you guys.
That's a really good point.
Guys, are we taking the Chiefs or the Chargers tonight, everybody? Casey.
Huh?
Chiefs or the Chargers?
Just to win?
Yeah, I don't know what. I mean, the game's over. Brent won it, so.
Chargers.
I got the Chargers to win, by the way.
Oh, I have the Chiefs. Okay, cool.
No Chris Jones. Will that be a difference? I think the Chargers
Does he
will
play
get like
offense?
3.5.
No, we're fine.
I think it's going to be a big performance by the Chargers. I think they need it more.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. That game on Fox 30, by the way. Continuing coverage of the Urban Meyer firing and the reaction
Also
from
on
players
ESPN
coming up on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Also on ESPN 690 tonight, Casey and Brian Middleton coming up next
There it is.
for the Urban Meyer Chatter.
I see you, boys.
And ESPN 690 Westwood One coverage. Also, we'll have the Chiefs and Chargers. And we've got Ric Flair here tonight at String Sports Brewery in Springfield, 7 o'clock. Jaguars All Access. Come on out, say hello to the wrestling great, and say hello to us as well. Shaq Griffin will join us on the show. All right, we'll do it again tomorrow, boys.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe
Unless you're on a boat.
I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm getting a lot of disrespect these days. We'll see how I feel about it tomorrow.
Well, check your emotions at the door. Check the ego at the door. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 o'clock on ESPN 690. Hope everybody has a good night.
$5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Dashboard light problems? We can help. Our free Fix Finder service can read your check engine light, ABS light, and service indicator light, and give you possible solutions, verified by licensed technicians. You'll even get detailed results sent straight to your email so you have them when you need it most. It's the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes. The free Fix Finder service, only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
More details at AutoZone.com.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 44th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, open 7 days a week in December.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com.
For the ones who are always in the know.
Delivery confirmed.
For the ones who keep things running. For the innovators and the problem solvers. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, experienced staff at local branches, and free access to experts to help answer your toughest questions. So whatever challenge you face, we have the knowledge and products to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Firefighters, paramedics, police officers. They take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Pro or against? That seems to be the only thing that matters these days in the marijuana discussion. But what about the facts? At Mary, we've taken it upon ourselves to lay it all out there in our podcast. Just pure, unbiased education about medical marijuana and unlawful use of cannabis. Find it at mary.famu.edu. That's mmeri.famu.edu.
70% of the Fortune 100 choose Zoom. With phone, chat, workspaces, apps, events, and video in a single platform, Zoom powers all your communications. Large enterprises, small businesses, and individuals use the secure Zoom platform to enable new ways of working, learning, hosting events, and supporting their customers. And now you can save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with a Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
More minutes. Action Sports Jacks. Overtime. Casey Kurtz. Brian Middleton. On a day being celebrated for somebody losing their job. Now, granted, I will give it to you this, folks. It had to happen. And I'm not saying it shouldn't happen. But, man, how did we get here? And we just talked about it for 3 hours on Action Sports Jacks, and I understand that, but the one thing that just I can't lose in my head is the fact that we are all happy, and by we, I'm clumping in most Jags fans, that Urban Meyer was fired this morning just after midnight. And the reason we're excited about that is because how bad it has been for the last 330 days. And keep in mind, the Jags have it bad always. So imagine how bad it must really be to only make it 300 days into a job. Not important. Here's what is important. I think we're looking over the fact of how bad this was. Like, yes, he was fired, and it's like, okay, we washed our hands with it. This might monumentally be the worst thing to ever happen to the franchise. Like, what if you just ruined Trevor Lawrence doing this? Like, listen, I know we're not going to feel bad about Shad Khan's money, but unless they have some proof that he kicked Josh Lambo, he's going to have to pay like $15 million to get out of this. Like this, it's happy because it's over, but at the same time, it's sad, and it's unbelievably sad that it's consistently the Jags. And yeah, it's over, so we're happy, but we're still the laughingstock of the NFL, folks. I hate to tell you. The Texans don't have these optics, and they're trash. Which, by the way, probably still going to win on Sunday. Although, I think James Robinson's going to get the football, nevertheless. The Jets don't have these optics. Like, this stuff only happens to the Jags, and that's why it's sad. However, Brian Middleton, in a movie that I've seen one too many times, one Harvey Dent says that the day is darkest just before the dawn. So, are brighter days coming, Brian Middleton? As I welcome you in. What up?
I sure hope so. I don't know. What does Mike Burrish say? Boo-doo.
Good one.
Right?
Okay, so by the way, let me talk directly to Mike Burrish, who's on TV right now, not hearing me. Mike Burrish, bro, listen. I wouldn't say we're friends because, frankly, you probably don't like me. But we worked together for like 9 months. Can I please just get a Twitter follow? Like, I'm out here liking weather things like consistently and replying to the weather just so he's like, oh yeah, Casey, we work together, I'll follow him. Nope. Follows Amanda for no reason. Follows you probably.
No, he doesn't follow me.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
No, he doesn't follow me. I have like 10 followers between IG, Twitter, Snap, Facebook.
Mike Burrish, followed by Mike Burrish. It's literally the first thing that comes up when you click on your page.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Oh, you want to know why? Because I was doing traffic. Yeah, that's what happened. I was doing traffic.
Okay, but that's still.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
I need you, man, please. My life will be complete at that point. No, but anyway, I don't know how we got on that, but please continue on with your thought.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, all jokes aside, probably so. It'll probably be a brighter day. The team is probably going to be galvanized this Sunday. It helps that you're playing somebody, I guess, on your same level.
Yeah, that's fair.
Skill-wise or talent-wise. So
yeah, that's fair.
It'll probably be a good game. And if you get the win, it'll be the cherry on top, and everybody will say that Urban was the issue after all. So I don't know, Casey, but I tell you what, man. Since you're giving me the floor,
please take it.
I'm going to go ahead and jump into my rant. As you know, Casey has something on his mind usually on Mondays. I usually have something on my mind on Thursdays. And I just want to preface this by saying not all Jags fans, not all media.
Uh-oh.
Okay?
Oh, no.
But listen, I like to have fresh takes.
Yeah, you do.
Okay? And Casey, I really thought about what I wanted to talk about. And honestly, I had my thoughts together for something WNBA related. I know, right? As much as I talk about WNBA off the record, you would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
But then I asked myself, do I really feel like getting canceled today? And the answer was no. So
Good.
Yeah. So
Live to fight another day.
Instead, can I please have all Jags fans, national and local media, can y'all please stand up for me real quick? And Urban Meyer, if you're still in Duval, by all means, you can stand up too. It's not necessary. I know you're probably dealing with your realtor right now, and that's okay. Jags players, though, you can sit this one out. This one doesn't concern you guys at all. You take the rest of the show off. You get ready for the Texans, okay?
Please.
All right. So I actually had a bit of concern, again, like I said, about what I was going to say, almost to the point where I didn't talk about this as well. But like Amber Newman told me that Martina McBride told her, do it anyway. So I'm going to do it anyway. That's a country song, by the way. Casey, do you know it?
Yeah.
Okay. If you haven't heard it, check it out, all right? It's pretty good. Okay, so back to the topic. I get it. Jags fans, local media, even some national media, a lot of y'all are mad. And you should be. I mean, the amount of excitement that surrounded this team coming off of a 1-15 season was incredible, to say the least. But you had Trevor Lawrence and his golden locks coming to town, and you had Urban Meyer, coach's coach, coming to run this program, and it didn't go the way that you thought it should. Granted. So, again, all of the frustration is warranted. And the spicy talk about the disappointment in the team, warranted as well. Though I doubt any of y'all would actually say it to the players or coaches' faces with the same energy in a closed-off room, but that's neither here nor there. Casey, I applaud the fans and media for speaking their minds.
Mm-hmm.
But what's really grinding my gears is this revisionist history, where I'm hearing more and more people talk about how they knew this wasn't going to work. From fans to social media to local media to national media, now all of a sudden people are acting like they were Marty McFly. You familiar with him?
Very.
They went Back to the Future. Already knew the outcome. Listen, you guys don't have a hoverboard. You don't own a DeLorean. Doc Brown isn't your best friend. Skedaddle with all that. Knock it off, can you? The reality of the matter is that the overwhelming majority of people were like me. They knew Urban Meyer's track record before he came to Jacksonville. They knew he was a bit abrasive in character and knew that he came with some controversy, and you all were still excited anyways. Now, I'm not sure how many of us knew that he was getting low-level lap dances practiced on him from snow bunnies at his restaurant in Ohio prior to that video, but I digress. It's okay to say that you're disappointed. It's okay to say that you were wrong. But for the 95% of media and fans, you acting now like you knew prior to week 1 of the football season that this wasn't going to work out. Stop the cap. Cap, 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 cap. Just a bunch of cappers around here, and I ain't talking about the fraternity. Final point, Casey.
Yeah.
I read on Twitter multiple people, fans, blue check marks, saying that Urban's career in coaching is probably done after this. And to that, I say, boy, you is plumb dumb. Girl, you is estupido. If you think that there isn't an AD out there right now making plans on taking a run at Urban for the 2023 college football season, you're a fool's fool. The fact of the matter is, Urban Meyer is a good coach. Maybe not for the Jags or the NFL, because sometimes it just doesn't work out. Like my cousin says, if one floozy doesn't get your goose, cook with another one. But Urban, if he so chooses, will be on the sideline again for a big level program, and he will win probably a lot. And he also will probably hold up a trophy or two before he wraps up his career. I know you don't want to hear that, but you're going to take this medicine today. You'll be all right.
Is it the trophy of the Idaho Potato Bowl? Does that count?
Casey Kurtz, that's all I got to say about that.
All right. I like what you're saying there.
And by the way, Casey, I heard that you're revising your history as well, because I was working with you over at TV when Urban got picked up.
Nope.
And the giddiness. If you guys know Casey, he's not a giddy guy, huh? He's not a giddy guy.
Not really. No.
He's the most crotchety 23-year-old I've ever met.
Thank you.
Ornery even. He was giddy. Hopping up and down the walls, being happy, floor directing.
No.
And so now I'm hearing that you have receipts to the opposite of that. Is that what you're trying to tell me? That you don't fall into this, hey, I always knew it wasn't going to work?
Okay, so this is real life. My dad texted me Thursday, January 14th at 10:50 p.m. They live in Colorado, so you know the time change, whatever. He said, Urban, wow, just heard. I said, yep, I'm sure he will quit on us like he did the Gators. My dad then said, we will see. And then I said, I think they might be chasing ticket sales, but I hope it works out. And then I said, did you watch the Purdue game? And we went on from there. So I don't think that qualifies as confidence. I remember laughing downstairs floor directing when they pulled out the Urban era BAM. I wonder if that one got deleted yet.
Gone.
Yeah, I mean, they probably have it's probably the same one and they just put the little fired over it. But I wouldn't qualify that as giddy. Look, when it happened, I thought I didn't love it.
Right.
Because it didn't I don't know. I don't like the old college coach doesn't scream NFL success, in my opinion. If it was Lincoln Riley, I would have been a little different because he's younger. He understands how this works now. Urban Meyer obviously has no clue how anything works. And I don't know if it's because he's old. I don't know if it's because he hasn't coached in the NFL before. I don't know if it's because he's clueless or if he's a quitter or if he's a liar. I don't know, okay? But at the end of the day, I wasn't thrilled. But as a Jags fan, which I am, what option did I have but to be a little bit optimistic? Did you ever hear me say we're winning the Super Bowl?
Don't do that. Just because you didn't say that doesn't mean you weren't giddy. Okay?
I was not giddy.
I don't like the way that you framed the argument. You're good, but I understand your tricks right there. Of course you didn't say we were going to win the Super Bowl. You had some smart aleck response you probably said, but you were excited. You were happy. And granted, listen, I was excited for you guys, and I'm not a Jags fan, but even I said, like your dad, listen, I said you guys have 3 years maybe with Urban. Maybe. And that's if everything goes well. That doesn't mean that you weren't excited, though.
Listen, we can agree to disagree on that, but at the end of the day, the fact that this transpired in less than a year, 332 or 35 days, I believe it was, I put in the title of this stream if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch, so you can let me know. But the fact that this happened in that short amount of time is a colossal disaster and one that should not be forgotten no matter what happens. Because whenever you click on that Jags Wikipedia, it's going to say Urban Meyer coached for 13 games and the whole city of Jacksonville hates him. Don't let somebody catch him out in public, especially not in a dark alley, because that won't end well for Urban Meyer. But
that sounds like a crime.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Do you think I'm wrong?
I just think that it sounds like at least a B felony.
But do you think I'm wrong?
I don't know. It depends on what part of town you're in.
No, I don't think that matters at all. I think everybody collectively doesn't like the dude, and they shouldn't, because this has been a disaster. And if it's the reason Trevor Lawrence is ruined, he'll never be forgiven. We got more to do. ESPN 690 Action Sports Jacks Overtime. Brian Middleton, Casey Kurtz. We'll be right back. Stick with us. What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jacks, and I have something brand new to ESPN 690 to share with you. Every Jags home game morning, we are bringing you ESPN 690 Game Day Live from the Duval House. Brent Martineau will be live at the Duval House, right next to the bank, and I'll be in studio getting you ready for a Jags home game, the other games around the NFL, fantasy football, and even some Survivor Pool advice as well. Listen live every Jags home game morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's ESPN 690 Game Day Live Drive, sponsored by the Duval House.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Tonight, we will have a few early showers, but otherwise looking dry through the overnight hours with areas of fog. We will have partly cloudy skies into tomorrow morning with temperatures in the upper 50s. Friday, partly sunny and warm with temperatures in the afternoon in the low 80s. I'm meteorologist Stola Sepedjic, and that's your Action News Jax First Alert Forecast.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where the anniversary sale's been extended through Christmas Eve. Save up to 41% store-wide.
Just be positive. Your Community First Mortgage champions make sure you get a great rate, a quick close, and can save you about $3,000 in closing costs. Apply at communityfirstfl.org. Community First Credit Union. Just be yourself. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Men suffering from ED or PE? Has Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center is featuring Restore Wave, the latest and non-invasive ED treatment. You'll see results on your first visit or pay nothing. Call 904-618-3497. That's 904-618-3497.
Transmission problems? Call Action Transmission Specialists on Merrill Road, where you get the work done right the first time by the experts. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. Our techs can service all makes and models, and we provide a nationwide warranty, so you have the peace of mind knowing we solve your transmission troubles fairly and honestly and guaranteed nationwide. Call us at Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road, where quality counts. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Hey, frequent heartburn may keep you from running your A game, but it doesn't have to anymore. Join the Prilosec OTC 2-week challenge. Just go to prilosecotc.com. You'll get $3 off to get you started, plus 14 days of tips, tricks, and reminders. Just 2 weeks, zero heartburn. Go to prilosecotc.com and sign up today. Zero heartburn is possible with Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
At Lowe's Winterfest, find the gifts to make more holiday. Like savings on select appliance special values, plus free local delivery over $396. Or save $60 on a DeWalt 20-volt Max brushless drill kit. Was $159, now $99. Make your season twice as nice, twice as merry at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Appliance offer restrictions and other fees may apply. See store for details. While supplies last. Valid through 12/22. U.S. only.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
ESPN 690 Action Sports Jax Overtime. These music beds are so good. I got to change the ones we have on the show from 3 to 6. Action Sports Jax, that's what that show is. This is Action Sports Jax Overtime. 3 to 6, Action Sports Jax 6 to 6:30-ish. Mondays and Thursdays, Brian Middleton, Casey Kurtz. Coming up tonight on ESPN 690, we got that Thursday night football. 2 teams worth watching and listening to, the Kansas City Chiefs as well as the Los Angeles Chargers. Talk about that one in a bit. But coverage of that one will start at 8 o'clock right here on ESPN 690, as well as Fox 30. Before that, 7 o'clock on Fox 30. Brent Martineau, who has not slept yet, folks. Give you a quick rundown of what Brent's been through. He woke up, not today. Today is Thursday. So he woke up on Wednesday morning. I don't know what he did before 3 o'clock, but he was, awake and alert. He then did a radio show from 3 to 6. He then did TV at 6:30. He then made a BAM about Josh Lambo getting kicked. He then did TV at 10:30 as well as 11:30, and also some hits in the 10 and 11 o'clock news. He then decided it was finally time to head home. When Urban Meyer gets fired, he turns around on the highway, comes back, or was going to come back to work, decided to go home because they weren't going to go live in the middle of the night. Next thing you know, we're doing a 3-hour Twitter space on Twitter. That was pretty cool. You can go back and listen to that one. That's on Brent's Twitter. A lot of opinions from a lot of Jags fans. It was pretty cool to be in on that. We did that midnight till about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. Shout out to everyone that listened that was up for that. But nevertheless, Brent didn't go to sleep. He then brought himself back in here and was the lead story on Action News Jax at 4:30. You turned it on. You clicked it on. They ran the open, whatever. They come out to camera. There's Brent Martineau and Phil Amato. And Brent's been going and going ever since. He has one more TV show to do, Fox 30.
Earning that money.
Oh, I tell you
Earning that paycheck. 7-figure Brent. That's what I call him. the Tom Brady of Jacksonville sports media. Hey, let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
I know we're jumping off of the Jags, but let me just ask you this before we do. At the start of the season, since you were kind of a soothsayer.
Here we go.
But if you said at the end of the season, Urban Meyer and Josh Lambo wouldn't be a part of this team,
It's interesting.
like, would anybody
No.
have guessed that?
Yeah, no. And it's funny you bring Josh Lambo into it because definitely not. I would now. Don't get me wrong. Urban Meyer was probably safer in January than Josh Lambo, but yeah, that is an interesting point to bring up. I mean, at least with Josh Lambo, you understood it, and now you start to wonder about it because of everything that has transpired. But he wasn't making his kicks. He was getting kicked, but he wasn't making his kicks, and that ultimately led to the departure of, I mean, Josh Scobie's obviously the best kicker in Jags history, but Josh Lambo's probably second. And now you have Matthew Wright, and obviously Matthew Wright made a name for himself in London, but there's no other way to describe it than it's been pretty weird around here in Jacksonville this season. And good news, folks, we still got 2 more home ones to go and 2 more away ones to go. They will play the Texans at home at 1 o'clock on CBS 47. That's what I was trying to get at if you don't make it to the stadium. But before we do that, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., ESPN 690 Game Day Live from the Duval House. Brent Martineau will probably have slept before then, hopefully. I'll be here. We'll be speaking about the Texans, about the Jags, about what's going to happen. Join us. We'll be on the streaming platforms. If you're watching on a stream right now, we'll be there on Sunday. We'll also be on the radio, ESPN 690. We obviously appreciate everyone on the radio as well. But if you want to see what's going on, be sure to join the stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all the spots to find us. And granted, a lot's going on with Urban Meyer, but there's other things going on. Florida State had a rough one yesterday. National Signing Day, the first part, a lot of local guys signed. Probably work some of that in as we go along because there are 2 signing days now. But Florida State had a hard commit from the number 1 player in the country for a year and a half. They lose him on signing day to Deion Sanders in Jackson State. And Brian, I'm not sure how to word this to you, but I'm going to try to figure it out live on the air. I'm white, Brian. And for those,
do I need to get the dumb button?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe. This is not going to go well.
Let me scoop my chair. Okay.
For those that don't know, Brian is a black man. What does this do for HBCUs? Because I understand it from the outside and how big of a move this could be, but you obviously have a different opinion than I could possibly have.
Well, first, I think it's a terrible look because this came one day after Florida State extended Mike Norvell an additional year on his contract. So I don't know why that happened right before, why they made that decision to do that. But that's a terrible look for FSU. But as far as it concerns Travis Hunter and Jackson State and that kind of talent going to HBCUs, I will say I didn't attend a HBCU, but I do understand the importance, just historically, what it means to this country, what it means to a certain community. And I will say this could be a game changer, but I'm going to wait and see. I think Travis Hunter is going to be all right. I think Deion Sanders is going to be okay. And I think Jackson State, which is already a good team, is going to continue to be a good team. But unless this turns into 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 of the top 50 players starting to make that decision, starting to make it more than just, a cool moment into an actual trend, then it really will just be a splash in the pan. But here's the deal, man. You can't understate the fact that this guy who had his pick of the litter.
Yeah.
I mean, he put on the UGA hat and tossed that.
He did.
Before he did the FSU one, I know he had another hat up there as well. But he could have went to any school in the nation. And this guy, by all accounts, is going to play on Sundays. That's just what we're going to assume.
Yeah.
Just from his talent and what you've seen just from high school, right? That's kind of how this is going to work. For him to say, hey, I'm going to try to build a legacy at a HBCU, at a school that's not, a top 25 school. I'm not going to do what everybody else before me has done. is huge. And here's one more thing. We talked about it, or I texted you about it, and you guys spoke about it. This is a very nuanced discussion and argument. But NIL is, and on the one hand, I understand why people think it's going to be a slippery slope eventually, but it does level the playing field to a certain degree. Now, there's probably already schools who have departments focused just on NIL deals and building that up and how you can present that to recruits, right? That already started happening as soon as they signed that off as legal. But I got to tell you, man, it's exciting to see whether or not this is going to start a trend. Because if it does, it'll be an exciting time in college football, seeing some HBCUs and other schools just in general have a fighting chance of getting these top players.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good call. I would have said this if he went to Florida State, so it's definitely unpopular to say now, but I'm going to anyway. And I would have said it no matter where he went. At this point, does it really matter where you sign? Because you can transfer, and it's almost a guarantee that you're going to. Like, who's staying for 4 years anymore? Well, 3 years, let's just say, if you're that good, obviously.
Right.
So, look, I mean, I hope he does, because I have no real – I mean, he's not going to – I have no, dog in the fight here. I just hope that he made the right decision for him. But I do think it's interesting to see how it played out. And Deion Sanders, I guess, is a good football coach. He's a heck of a recruiter, but it'll be interesting to see where we go from here on that. But it's definitely an interesting story. And on the Florida State side of it, yeah, that's you kept the rest of your class, which is important, but yikes for Mike Norvell the day after he gets a contract extension. Only 1 year, but...
You know what gets me, Casey?
What you got?
Just kind of getting off track just for a little bit. South Carolina keeps getting top 25 classes. Just not doing the thing with it. And it doesn't matter the coach. Got to be real with you. It doesn't matter the coach. It's just like, hey, 20, 23, 15. I guess the problem is, like, there are 8 SEC teams before them.
Yeah.
So that might be a problem. But, I see that. And also South Florida. Your boy, Coach Napier, getting some talent in there, right?
Did they?
Are you still a free agent?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Well,
never mind.
Yeah, no. I'm not even going to talk about him. Spencer Rattler. I forgot. South Carolina from Oklahoma, 5-star, anointed like the greatest thing since sliced bread, and then got benched, but now goes to South Carolina. I don't know how we didn't lead the show with that because we have a South Carolina fan. Your thoughts? SEC championship or bust, or what's the situation?
Yeah, there's not enough time in the show left for me to talk about that. That's one of those that, hey, it's an upgrade.
Okay,
I think.
Yeah, it is.
By all accounts, it should be an upgrade.
So you're happy, sort of.
Well, here's the deal. Spencer, even though he got benched at Oklahoma, he was at Oklahoma. Like, he's used to winning 9, 10, 11 games.
Oh, yeah.
High school, same way. He was really good. He was out there when I was in Arizona. And I got to tell you, there are some things that I've heard from people who were out there that never made it. And I got to tell you, he's been an issue for a while. He has some issues. Like, I'm sure most football players or just players in general, everybody has their stuff, but he got some stuff. So, maybe if he can make sure to keep that in check, because they're probably not going to win 11 games in Columbia. Not this season coming up. No, not this season coming up. You gotta play Georgia. I got to look at I don't know who they catch on the West this season coming up.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to have some struggles, even though it's an upgrade. I think 8 or 9 wins I would be happy with that. But yeah, it's definitely a splash. Kudos to Beamer for the incoming class and pulling Rattler.
Yeah, it's a huge get. By the way, it looks like Georgia State, Arkansas, Georgia, Charlotte, SC State, Kentucky, A&M, yikes, Missouri, Vanderbilt, Florida, Tennessee, Clemson for Spencer Rattler in his first year. All right, we got one on the YouTube. Do you think transferring is becoming an issue in college athletics? It seems it's becoming way too easy and frequent. Yeah, this is actually an interesting story, the Quinn Ewers story. Left high school early. I'm assuming you know the story, but if you don't, leaves high school early, NIL deal, all of that. Number 1 quarterback in the class, was supposed to be the current class that's signing, I believe, and left early, signed with the last class, early enrolled into Ohio State, played a game, I believe, didn't do much, Barely even gave it a try, but C.J. Stroud obviously seems to be the guy there, so he transfers to Texas. What a disaster, in my opinion. If the guy's the number one quarterback in the class, he leaves high school early, he does all this unprecedented stuff, and you don't even give it a chance? Like, what kind of world are we in where if you don't start immediately as a true freshman who's not even supposed to be in college of age and you leave?
Hey, I have a different take. I know he had a NIL deal up there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he probably wanted to play in at least the state of Texas. I think that he was like, hey, I'm going to go get this money, and I'm going to come on back because I can do that.
So you're saying...
I think he gamed the system, and I'm all for it. That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying... Wait a minute. Let me make sure I got this right. I don't want to misrepresent what you're saying here.
Yeah.
You're saying that he went to Ohio State.
Okay.
Took the money.
So far, it's a go.
He more or less stole the bag.
Green light.
And after he received said bag.
Green light.
He went back to Texas.
Another green light. You got them all right, man.
Okay. All right. That's a heck of a take.
I'm just providing an alternate, to what the current narrative probably is. And hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think it's an issue yet. But when you have coaches that can get up and leave, but
That's
make
fair.
sure that, hey, you guys, we're recruiting you, we're sitting in your homes, you've heard this story over and over again, and we want you, and I'm going to be here for the next 3, 4, or 5 years, making sure that you get the best education and the best facilities, and I'm going to do my best to get you to the NFL, the next level. And then next thing you know, USC comes a calling, LSU comes a calling, Florida Gators, hey, they came a calling.
It's a fair...
I want these kids to get their money. It hasn't been an amateur sport for a long time.
No, I agree, and I want everyone to get their money, and I agree with what you're saying on the coaches. I absolutely agree. But in this case, stop me if I'm wrong, Ryan Day didn't leave, right?
Right.
Ryan Day's been the coach of Ohio State since Urban Meyer left.
Yeah.
So what did he get missold on?
Why does he have to wait on Ryan Day to leave?
Well, you're saying the coaches – no, you're saying that the coaches can leave, but Ryan Day didn't leave. Ryan Day's the one that recruited him, that sat in his living room, that brought him in, and
Right.
he's still the coach there.
Right.
So the reason he's leaving is either, one, he stole the bag, as you're suggesting, or two, he looked at the situation and said, I'm not good enough to win this job, and left.
Whoa.
Am I wrong?
Whoa, I'm not good enough to win this job. How about maybe, the coaches will not put me in that position? How about that?
C.J. Stroud is good.
He is good.
So you're not going to win the job over him. So you leave? You don't even try to compete?
Well, if that is the case, it's still his right. And here's the deal. I don't have to wait for the coach to leave. The mere fact that the coach has the ability to do that at any point, he could have been, after Urban was fired, we could have gotten another little ESPN notification that said, hey, you know what? Ryan Day to Colorado State. I don't know. I picked a team.
Sure.
And that would have been it. And then it would have been okay for him to leave? No. He has the chance to do it. I have the chance to do it. I have to do what I feel is best for me. I know it's a team sport, but right now, I'm going to get this money, and maybe I did steal the bag, but I'm going to go back home. I'm going to go to the state of Texas. I'm going to find another coach that's going to believe in me enough to put me in as the starter. We hope. I don't know if he's going to start, but we hope.
He probably will. But listen, here's the thing. We're not even really disagreeing, but at the same time, we are, but we're not. It's weird. It's weird what's going on right here because I think you should be able to leave. I'm just saying from the outside, it doesn't look like he tried to compete. I'm just telling you what it looks like.
So?
I'm not saying listen.
We do not care.
Yeah, I know we don't, but
thank you, Mike Tomlin.
That's a good call. And someone on YouTube says, do whatever best for you as a player. It's your career. And I'm not.
Thank you. Who is the, hey?
Zamar.
Hey.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just.
Sounds like you are.
No, I'm not. I think I like the transfer rule. I'm with it. And I think if the coaches can leave, I'm on board 100%. But you're not going to sit here and look me in the face and tell me he tried.
I don't know what he did. I have no idea what he did. Maybe he tried, maybe he didn't.
If you're telling me he tried and he whatever and looking ahead he's conceded, okay, that's fine. So then maybe he's not as good as we thought.
Maybe he has the awareness, which is very rare for somebody that young. He has the self-awareness to know that I'm not going to beat out whoever for this starting position. Let me go somewhere where I can get starter reps, and maybe eventually I will be good enough. Maybe once we get to the next level, all these reps that I'm getting in college actually does help me out at the next level that I wouldn't have gotten sitting behind whoever's in front of me, beating me out year after year for the starting job. I don't know.
That's fair, but if you're getting, let's be honest, if you're getting beat out, I know it's a long way to go, but why are we worried about the reps for the NFL?
It's all about the NFL.
Yeah, but if you're getting beat out for jobs already, is he going to get there? You got to get there first. I'm just saying. Anyway, we're out of time by a good little minute, but that was good. By the way, Chiefs-Chargers tonight, Thursday Night Football, ESPN 690, 8 o'clock. Brian Middleton, I got the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to prove that they're legit tonight. They've had some question marks about that this season. They lost to the Broncos in a game they shouldn't lose. They lost to the Vikings in a game they should not have lost. Lost to the Patriots, that's fair. Got pretty much embarrassed by the Ravens. But you beat the Chiefs in your first matchup in Arrowhead. I think the Chargers are legit. They take a step tonight. They win the football game. What say you?
I don't know what's going on with the Chiefs. That's weird to say for a 9-4 team. They're just different than what I'm used to. Maybe because I have Travis Kelce.
He's not getting the football.
He's just not. I don't know what the deal is, but, they just put up 48 points. Listen, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I feel like they're looking different, but they are starting to turn it on. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I feel that. First week of the fantasy football playoffs, if you're interested in that, Austin Eckler will play. Keenan Allen is back from the COVID list. Me and Brian Middleton will not be participating because, get this, me and somebody else Team CBS had a different name before that as well. We missed the playoffs, although we were the top 2 scoring teams, but it's whatever. I got 3 other leagues I'm in the playoffs, and I got Austin Eckler going tonight. Also got Justin Herbert. Brian Middleton has the Chiefs. I have the Chargers. ESPN 690, 8 o'clock for that one. Fox 30 in a couple minutes. Brent Martineau, Jaguars Report live, or Jaguars All Access, a lot of TV shows. Now I feel like I'm the one that hasn't slept, but it's actually Brent Martineau. Otherwise, we'll be back with you Monday. We'll be back from 3 to 6 tomorrow. Me and Austin Lane will hold it down. Have a great weekend. Have a great night. We'll talk to you Monday.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise as